A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Chesterfield brings you Dragnet.
Put a smile in your smoking.
By Chesterfield. Smoother. Cooler. Best for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. You get a report that a supply of heroin has reached your city. You don't know who's got it or where it is. Your job? Find out.
Stop! Start smoking with a smile with Chesterfield. Smoother, cooler, milder Chesterfield. Put a smile in your smoking, just give 'em a try. Chesterfield's best for you. They satisfy.
If you want tomorrow's better cigarette today, next time you buy cigarettes, stop. Remember, only Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray. You'll notice how fresh and good Chesterfield's made with Accuray taste, how smooth they are, and how they satisfy. So buy Chesterfield today. Best for you.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, May 23rd. It was cool in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out on narcotics detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Walter. My name's Friday. We were on our way back from questioning an informant, and it was 10:46 p.m. when we got to the First Street Station. Narcotics Squadron.
You think Bronco's holding out on us?
I don't know.
Well, if we don't turn something pretty soon, the stuff will be all over town.
Yeah.
How about a cup of coffee, Joe?
Huh?
Coffee. You want a cup?
Sure, if you got some.
Yeah, I brought a thermos from home.
Oh.
Made it myself the way I like it. You know, strong.
Mm-hmm. I got some cups.
Wait a minute. You don't need them, Joe.
What?
Don't need them. I got cups right here on the top of the thermos, 4 of them. It's some gadget, huh? Look at that. Kids gave it to me for Christmas. Of course, they probably picked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at her steam. Really keeps the heat in.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Drink up.
Thanks.
What's the matter? Something the matter?
No, you were right, that's all.
What do you mean?
About it being strong.
Oh, yeah. When I want coffee, I want boiled water, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this stuff's got some taste to it.
It sure has.
Well, aren't you going to finish yours?
Well, I'm not thirsty right now.
Oh. Hey, you know, Joe, I just realized something.
Hmm?
All these years I've been working with you, it never dawned on me before.
What's that?
You don't like coffee.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't, Joe. Not the real genuine articles, stuff they serve in restaurants, drugstores, or... Heck, that's not coffee.
It's not, huh?
No, this is coffee.
Yeah.
A little bite to it, a little zing.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
Well...
All these years I've been working with a partner who doesn't appreciate good coffee. Well, I guess you learn something all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't finish it if you don't want.
Narcotics Friday. Who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Candy. Mm-hmm. That's right. Are you still at the same place? Sure, I know where it is. What's that room number? Okay. Goodbye. It's Candy Delman.
Yeah?
You heard we were talking to Bronco tonight.
Bronco tell him what it was about?
He must have. At least Candy knows we didn't get anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Says it's our own fault for not going to the right guy.
And who's that?
Him. Candy Delman was an informant who had served 3 sentences for violation of the State Narcotics Act. Since his release from prison, he had given police officers several leads to burglary and robbery suspects. Most of his leads had panned out. As far as we knew, Delman was no longer a narcotics user or a pusher himself, but in the past he had always refused to give any information on the dope racket. Over the phone, he said he was living at the Hattrick Hotel on South Spring Street, room 217. Frank and I left the office and drove out to talk to him. It was 11:22 p.m. when we got to the hotel, a dark, two-story building badly in need of repair. We went inside and started up the stairs to the second floor.
Get back down here, both of you. Come on, start moving.
What's the trouble, lady?
What's the matter with your eyesight?
No, I don't think so.
Why don't you use it? Sign right here on the desk. Ring for the manager.
Yeah.
Didn't hear no ring, did I?
We didn't see any reason to bother you.
It's my worry, ain't it?
Sure.
Bells are to be rung. And hearing it ain't what bothers me. It's guys like you sneaking in trying to get a free pad for the night.
Take it easy, lady. We don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Then what do you want?
We just dropped by to see Candy.
Who?
Candy Delman.
He lives here, doesn't he?
He might.
Well,
A friend of yours?
he's expecting us.
How do
now.
I know?
Well, why don't you ask him?
Oh, sure. That's all I gotta do. Tramp up and down them stairs from morning till night. Call him to the phone. Give him messages. Done him for back rent. Well, I ain't making no extra trip on account of you.
Well, you suit yourself.
Just you wait a minute. I ain't said you could go upstairs. You claim to know Candy. What's his room number?
217. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you be sure you let me know when you leave. And you better be out of here by midnight, or I'm collecting a buck from each of you. Friends or no friends, you're not bunking with Candy unless I get paid. In advance.
Oh, she's proud again. You know something, Joe? Faye was after me just the other day about getting a new suit.
Oh?
I guess she was right.
Yeah. Must be down this way.
Yeah. Maybe you ought to go with me. Buy some clothes yourself.
What for?
Oh, we must need 'em. If a dame like that figures we'd mooch a room in this joint.
I wouldn't help with her. Here we are.
Yeah, who is it?
Joe.
Just a minute. Come on in.
Thank you. You know Frank Smith, don't you, Candy?
Sure.
Hi, Candy.
Want a drink?
No, thanks.
Smith?
No.
Don't mind if I take a blast.
That's up to you.
As long as I'm drinking alone, there's no point in dirtying the glass. I guess maybe I'm turning into a lush, huh?
Is that right?
Been hitting the bottle pretty hard lately, since I went off the stuff.
That so?
Yeah. You guys knew I was off it, didn't you? I ain't even chip you no more.
Well, you don't have to sell us, Candy.
Well, I ain't selling nobody. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to see us about?
Anybody know you're here?
The lady downstairs.
You mean the manager of this flea bag?
Yeah, I guess that's what she is.
Lady, you ask me, them flying saucers must be real.
Well?
How else would a dame like that get here? Hey, she knew you cops.
We didn't tell her.
You telling anybody else that you were coming to see me?
No.
Come on, Candy. What's it all about, huh?
Well, take it easy. Don't push me. Why don't you sit down?
We're all right.
You was talking to Bronco tonight, huh?
Well?
I bumped into him right after you shoved off.
That's so.
Yeah, asking a mule like him about H, boy, he's lucky if he can turn a couple sticks of tea.
We're asking everybody.
Didn't ask me.
Well, we figured it'd be a waste of time.
I've helped you guys before.
No, not when it came to the stuff, you didn't.
Maybe this is different.
Yeah.
I always figured a guy gets hooked, that's his own business. He done himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's his getting hurt, too, yours truly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hooked 3 times, I don't know.
Yeah, you should.
Guy wants to kick it, it's up to him, too.
Mm-hmm.
And you can stick him in a joint, send him to the hospital, maybe he'll get rid of the habit for a while, but if he wants to kick it for good, he's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. It ain't easy either. Guy's own business is what happens. Whether he goes for a ride or gets off.
All right, come on, Candy. What are you getting at here?
Horse you're looking for, it ain't just going to guys, boy.
You mean kids, too?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Fella asked me if I wanted to make a buy. I thought I was still shooting caps.
What fella?
Mm-mm.
Come on, we'll stand in front of you, Candy.
Well, you take it my way or you don't get it. That means no names.
All right, give us the rest of it.
Well, like I said, he asked me if I was interested in a buy, and I told him I wasn't.
Yeah.
He said that was okay with him. He had plenty of other customers. He cut a lot thinner for some of them. A pro like me, I might know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Kids just offer the weed, they wouldn't care. He said he was only making me an offer as a favor, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever buy from him before?
Well, look, Joe, just let me tell it, huh?
Go ahead.
Well, the way he talked kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Even when I was pushing, I never sold a kid. You know that. I ain't no saint. I never pushed no kids. It just didn't seem right.
Yeah.
So when I bumped into Bronco tonight and he told me that you guys were looking for H, well, I figured maybe I owed you a hand.
Go ahead.
Make you feel kind of funny?
What?
I never finked on a guy in a trade before. You know that.
Well, you're out of it now, aren't you?
Yeah, for now. You never know, Joe. 3 times, I've been down. You never know when it's going to happen again. I ain't making no promises, even to myself. That's why I ain't never copped out on anything like this before. Sort of like turning myself in. It's good H, too. It's Eastern.
Yeah.
It's been cut, but it's not too thin. The way you talk, must have, 6, 8 ounces left. The rest of it's been sold.
Yeah.
He can cut a lot thinner if he wants to. It's dealing with kids. It don't matter,
Yeah.
Where do we find him, Candy?
You ever hear of Walker Drive, Hollywood Hills?
We can find it.
Well, it's not much of a street. It's just 4 or 5 blocks, dead end. Cuts off a Laurel before you get to Mulholland.
Well, go ahead.
That's it.
Well, which house?
I didn't say nothing about no house. Maybe he lives there, or maybe he's just going up to make a sale. I don't know.
You think he's there now?
I didn't ask him for no time schedule. Now, go on, beat it, will you? I want to get drunk. Oh, hey, look, there's something about you guys that keeps me sober. If you don't shove off, I'm going to run out of booze.
You want to tell us what he looks like, Candy?
You've had it, Joe.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. You haven't given us very much.
Is that so? Well, you know something? It's lucky for you I got principles about pushing the kids.
Yeah.
You'd have got nothing.
We continued to question Delman, but he refused to give us any further information. 11:46 p.m., Frank and I left the Hattrick Hotel, and we drove up into the Hollywood Hills. We turned off Laurel Canyon onto Walker Drive. The street was only 5 blocks long, and there were approximately 20 houses on it. 12:22 a.m., we pulled up at the corner of Walker and Laurel, where we'd be able to notice anybody who turned into or out of the drive. 1:06 a.m., a man approached a Chevy convertible parked across the street from us. We knew he'd walked down from one of the houses on Walker, but we hadn't been able to determine which one. He passed under a street lamp, and we recognized him as Sam Free, a known narcotics user and suspected peddler.
Hold it, Sam.
Huh?
Right where you are. Hold it up.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Turn around, Sam. Put your hands against the side of the car.
Yeah. You guys know me. I don't carry nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what you doing in my pockets? I ain't got no gun. You said so yourself. Now, where the heck did that come from?
Why don't you tell us?
That's the stuff jar.
This all you got, Sam? Well, is it?
Yeah.
You're coming up in the world, aren't you?
What do you mean?
A couple of months ago, all we had you pegged for was a user and a small-time pusher. That's a lot of H. Where'd you get it?
Well, now, you know better than that.
You're in trouble, Sam.
Okay, you found the stuff on me. That means I'm going to do some time.
A lot of time.
Well, whatever it is, I'd just as soon be in one piece when I come out.
Who's the car belong to, Sam?
What car?
This one right here.
Huh?
You were getting into it, Sam.
Was it?
I'll give it a check. Okay.
All right. It's my car, so what?
I'll still check it.
Who fed you?
What?
To where I was.
You're not hard to find, Sam.
Yeah? You've been looking for me over 3 weeks now.
That's so?
Only you didn't know I was the guy you were after.
Thank you.
For what?
For telling us when the H got into town.
A lot of good it'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Another day I'd have been clean. You wouldn't have found none of it.
Yeah?
My own fault trying to get a good price. I should have taken what was offered. It's the real stuff, though. A man don't like to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Got something?
Yeah. Take a look in the back seat. A bunch of sweaters. Look like cashmeres.
I bought them for my girl. It's her birthday.
There must be some girl.
Yeah.
At least 40 sweaters there, Joe.
Yeah?
In all different sizes.
Listen. Listen to an electronic miracle. This electronic miracle, Accuray, means that everything from auto tires to apple pie, battleship steel to baby food, butter to cigarettes can be made better and safer for you. Now meet Mr. Bert Choate, brilliant young president of Industrial Nucleonics. Well, Bert, exactly what is Accuray?
Well, George, it is a device by which a stream of electrons passes through and analyzes the product while it is actually being made. They transmit what they see to this electronic brain, which adjusts the production machinery for errors down to millionths of an inch.
Well, can you give us an example of what it does?
Sure, take this piece of steel. How thick would you say it is?
Oh, about as thick as the cellophane from a pack of Chesterfields.
Accuray has made it possible to roll that steel accurately 1/10,000th of an inch thick. It takes 10 of these to equal the thickness of a sheet of cellophane.
That's amazing. Now let's get back to the pie and the baby food. Will Accuray bake a pie and tend the baby?
Well, not quite yet, George. But because this electronic control can improve shortening texture, for instance, your wife can bake a more delicious pie. And because Accuray can make baby food more uniform, that food will be more digestible for your baby.
One more question, one that so many people ask me. How does Accuray make Chesterfield a better cigarette than was ever possible before?
Every cigarette made with Accuray control contains a more precise measure of perfectly packed tobaccos. So Chesterfield smokes smoother, without hot spots or a hard draw.
And that's why Chesterfield tastes so much better. And I guess that's why you smoke them yourself, Bert.
You see, I know what Accuray can do.
Well, there's your answer. If you want tomorrow's better cigarette today, next time, stop. Remember. Only Chesterfield is made the modern way with Accuray. Best for you.
We took the suspect, Sam, free down to the main jail, and we had him booked on possession of narcotics and suspicion of burglary. An examination of the labels in the sweaters indicated that they were all from the same Whiteside Ladies Sports Shop in North Hollywood. 1:58 a.m. We contacted the owner of the store, Mr. T.P. Whiteside.
Yes, sir, that's right. Mm-hmm. If you would, we'd appreciate it. About 30 minutes? All right, sir, fine. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, he says they're stolen, all right.
Well, why didn't he report it?
Well, he didn't know anything about it until now.
Huh?
It just must have happened tonight.
"2:22 a.m. Frank and I met Mr. Whiteside at his sportswear shop on Lankershim Boulevard. At the rear of the building, we found a cut screen and a window that had been forced open. We called the crime lab and asked them to check the premises for any physical evidence. Mr. Whiteside made a quick survey of his stock, and as far as he could tell, the only missing item was a supply of cashmere sweaters.
I just can't get over it.
How's that, Mr. Whiteside?
You fellas finding out about all this even before I did.
No.
Well, I've done my share of complaining about policemen. In the past, that is.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I got a ticket, I used to say to myself, ain't he got nothing more important to do than pull me over for going a couple of miles too fast? That's what I said.
Yes, sir.
I figured that's all you police fellas cared about, giving folks tickets. Never seemed like you was paying no attention to the real crooks around town.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I owe you an apology.
It's all right, forget it.
No. Oh, no, I ain't going to forget it. I've been wrong about cops all these years, and you sure showed me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Apology, that's what I owe you. Going to accept it?
Yes, sir.
Shake?
You bet.
You too, mister?
Huh?
You willing to shake with me?
Oh, sure, you bet. Sure.
Say, about them sweaters you found.
Yes, sir.
Like you to keep a couple of them for your wives or girlfriends.
No, sir, that's all right. Thanks anyway, Mr. Whiteside.
You're entitled. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be getting them back.
It's our job.
Oh, go on. Keep a couple anyway,
No,
won't
sir,
you?
I'm sorry, we
Please.
can't do that.
Oh, well, I would offer the reward if I'd known about the burglary.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Well, it's your own fault. Nobody else is. You're to blame for it.
How's that?
No reward.
Huh?
Didn't give me time enough.
4:05 a.m. The crew from the crime lab reported that there was no physical evidence at the store. Frank and I went off duty. The next afternoon, May 24th, at 4:16 p.m., we checked our weapons at the booking counter of the city jail, and we asked to interview the prisoner, Sam Free. The booking sergeant told us he was in cell 104.
Yeah?
Free in 104.
Okay. Free in 104 for interview. Free for interview.
Sit down, Sam.
Sure.
You ready to do some talking?
About what?
The stuff. Where'd you get it?
Now, look, we had it checked by the lab, Sam.
Yeah?
It isn't Mexican. It's from back east someplace.
No kidding. Okay, I got it from back east. I sure don't want to louse up your scientific cats by saying different.
Is that the way you want it on your report?
Huh?
Uncooperative?
Ain't gonna make no difference what you guys put down.
It might, Sam.
Oh, look, you want a deal, I'll talk, otherwise forget it.
We don't make deals, you know that.
Huh? It's up to you.
Now, look, this isn't your first fall, Sam. It's going to go hard with you.
Maybe.
No maybes.
Oh, you never know. I'm chinning with some of the boys back there. They tell me things have changed around here.
Yeah.
Case against me might not stand up.
You wouldn't want to bet on that, would you, Sam?
Just telling you what I heard.
Don't you count on it.
Yeah?
Things haven't changed that much. "4:31 p.m. Frank and I went over to the Hall of Justice to file a complaint against Free. We talked to Deputy District Attorney Don Avery in the complaint department and gave him a complete statement of facts concerning Free's arrest.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Everything that happened?
Yeah. Why? What's the matter, Don? Something wrong with this case?
I don't know yet.
Well, Free himself said it might not stand up. We figured he was just talking.
Yeah.
We got the H, the stolen sweaters. What more do you need?
Let me ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
Now, give me the same answers you'd give in court if you were under oath.
All right.
Free was beside this car when you stopped him, is that right?
That's right.
Did you place him under arrest before you searched it? Well, did you?
Well, not in so many words.
What do you mean?
Well, we knew he was a hype. He knew we were cops. He could have figured that out.
But you didn't say you're under arrest in those words.
No, I don't think I did.
Smith?
Well, Don, we didn't have anything to arrest him for, not until after we found the H.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any reason to suspect he was carrying dope?
Well, like I said, he's a user.
Yeah.
That he was in the neighborhood. We knew somebody around there was carrying it.
Well, then you weren't looking for Free in particular.
Well, no.
The way I get it, the burglary hadn't been reported yet, is that right?
That's right.
So finding the sweaters was a surprise.
Yeah, it sure was.
Well, we'll file on him. It may not stick.
What are you talking about, Don?
The evidence.
Well, what's wrong with it?
The way you got it.
What?
You heard about the exclusionary ruling, didn't you?
Yeah.
Skipper had an assembly on it.
Well?
Look, Don, we're not lawyers. We're cops.
Sure. Well, here's the way it operates. Evidence obtained by illegal search or seizure can be thrown out of court. Simple as that.
Yeah?
Federal government has the same ruling. Most of the states don't. We never have until now. Before, if a policeman committed an illegal search or seizure, he could be prosecuted. Lots of times he was.
Uh-huh.
But the evidence could still be used at the suspect's trial.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way anymore.
No?
Well, look, maybe I'm just thick, Don, but it seems to me the only guy who's better off's the criminal.
That's how I see it, too.
Mm.
Well, all right, now look. Suppose we do pick up a guy. Maybe we aren't right, but we think we're onto something. If he's clean, he's not out anything except a little time and trouble.
Yeah.
And if he isn't, we got some evidence.
Not anymore, you have.
Yeah, well, this just don't make sense to me.
Well, what are we supposed to do from here on in?
You want to make a search, you got to get the guy's permission, or put him under arrest first, or have a valid search warrant. Otherwise, it's illegal. Your evidence may not hold.
Let me have that again.
If you want to make a search, you got to get the guy's permission, or put him under arrest first, or have a valid search warrant. Otherwise, it's illegal.
Well, now let's take Free, for instance.
Yeah?
We didn't have anything to arrest him on. As for getting his permission to search, well, I got a big picture of that.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way of getting a search warrant drawn, Don. We didn't even know what we were looking for.
Well, that's the way it's got to be from here on in.
Every time?
Well, there might be some exceptions. I don't know. It's up to the courts to decide.
But what if we're after somebody, a guy who's heavy?
Yeah?
Let's take a killer, maybe, so we want to break in. We supposed to ask him if it's all right if we break in?
You can get a warrant.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't know who he is. Maybe it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you do then?
When it comes up, you'll get an answer.
Well, let's come up right now.
What?
We got a dope pusher here. He's been selling H to kids. We got him made, dead to rights. Burglary, too. Now, you say he's going to get off.
I didn't say for sure.
Well, I don't even like to hear a maybe, not in a case like this.
It's the best I can do, Joe. I didn't hand down the ruling. If you'd arrested him first, that'd be different.
Yeah, and if he hadn't been carrying, he could have slapped a suit on us for false arrest.
Only thing I can tell you, get a warrant, get permission, or arrest him first.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing I'm going to tell you. It's not going to work.
Maybe not.
So just what do we do? Go back to pounding beats? Is that it?
Look, I said we might not be able to make it hold up in Free's case. If we can't, you'll get him sooner or later. You've got him pegged. Next time, get to him, so it'll stick.
Well, don't worry about it. We will.
Well?
Tell me one thing, Don, before we do.
Yeah?
How much more stuff is this guy going to peddle?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On May 30th, the preliminary hearing was held in Division 4 Municipal Court in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that hearing.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Chesterfield, made the modern way with Accuray. I wonder if you realize what that means to you. For the first time, you get a perfect smoke column in your cigarette. A smoother smoke. A cooler smoke than you've ever had before. To put a smile on your smoking, try 'em. Chesterfield.
In the case of Sam Arthur Free, the court ruled that the evidence against him had been obtained by illegal search and seizure. The charges against the suspect were dismissed. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian, Herb Ellis, Vic Rodman. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
This is it, L&M Filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor.
L&M's got everything.
It's the best.
No other cigarette gives you L&M's assurance. Assurance that it is best. L&M's got everything. Superior taste, superior tobacco, superior filter. Buy L&M today.
Most of you are Gunsmoke radio fans, and many of you have written to the makers of Chesterfield and L&M filters, asking them to put Gunsmoke on television, too. Here's the good news. Gunsmoke is going on TV starting Saturday night, September 10th. If you enjoy Gunsmoke on radio, we're sure you'll go for Gunsmoke on TV. Now, television will have an authentic adult Western, the Gunsmoke you know on radio. Remember, Saturday night, September 10th, Gunsmoke on TV. Check your local listings for time and station.
This is the NBC Radio Network.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you escape. designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
It all started on the bus just outside of Dallas. The sailor who had snored beside me since Memphis got off, and the big fat guy got on. He overflowed into my half of the seat, and for sound effect, he ate one apple after another. He must have bought him by the sack. Hey, fella, do you mind? My top coat? Oh, I'd like to have it fresh, but I prefer a tailor to do it. I pulled the coat out from under him. He smashed my carton of cigarettes almost flat. From then on, I held the coat in my lap. In my mind, he was symbolic of everything connected with this trip and with my life. Second rate, middle class, mediocre. I was on my way to Hollywood. Yeah, I'm an actor. Under personal contract to Henry Slapta, big director. Oh, it sounds impressive, but it isn't. One of those insignificant stock contracts with short options and shorter dough. I should have turned it down, but I was flat broke, on my heels. That's why, when I found the money, I did what I did.
Okay, folks, we're stopping here for 15 minutes.
Another stop, chance to stretch. Well, I had a cup of coffee and a spud nut in the depot, and I was starting back to the bus when I saw him, my apple-chewing friend. Two men with cop written all over him were leading him out of the bus. It was a pinch. I wondered why they picked him up. I really didn't care why they took him as long as he didn't come back. Now I had the seat to myself. But he'd done me a final courtesy. He'd knocked my top coat onto the floor and walked on it.
Okay, everybody on, let's go.
From then on into El Paso, he was the topic of conversation.
You look like the criminal that you right here didn't interfere with the bus driver says. The man's a counterfeiter, one of the smartest ones in the country. The police have been asking crazy. Counterfeiter? How exciting. I must get off at El Paso and sing a phone card back to man. Won't you do film for me?
Counterfeiter. Well, that's the last thing I would have begged him for.
El Paso.
El Paso. And Hollywood still 24 long hours away. Well, economy or no economy, I wasn't going to go on. I was dead tired, saddle sore from 3 days and nights on that bus. So I switched my ticket to the following day, and I hunted up a cheap hotel. The bellhop there was full of helpful ideas on how I could spend the evening.
Well, how about Juarez, mister?
Juarez, huh?
Yeah, old Mexico, just across the International Bridge.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten that this is a border town. No, thanks. I just want to get some sleep.
Sure, mister. It's up to you.
I tipped the kid and stretched out on the bed. I dug in my pocket for a cigarette, but I was out, so I reached into my top coat for the carton. That's when I found it. A package of money. A lot of money. All in 50s and 100s. Nice, clean, fresh bills. I counted them fast. $15,000 worth. So that's why I found my coat on the floor of the bus. Fatso had stashed his homemade money in my pocket. Why, the lousy... I'd fixed his wagon, planning it on me. Operator, give me the FB... No. No, never mind. Wait a minute. Why should I? If I turned it in, I might get involved, and I couldn't afford to. When I got to Hollywood, Hollywood. Boy, what an entrance I could make into that town if all this dough were only real. I could just picture the look on Henry Slapta's face if I flew into Hollywood with a new wardrobe, stopped at the Ambassador, took a suite, made a big splash. Yeah, if only the dough were real. Well, I couldn't sleep now. I was too stirred up, so I took a shower and changed my clothes and went out. I didn't have anything particular in mind, but since the hotel was near the International Bridge, I went over into Juarez. And I wasn't quite sure why I did it, but in my pocket was one of the $50 bills. I went up and down the cheap main drag, sampling tequila and brushing off vendors of Hirachis and leather dolls, just like the rest of the tourists. But all the time, that $50 bill was burning a hole in my pocket. It was in a small bar, a crummy place called El Serape, that I finally took a chance. I'd had a couple of tequila daisies, and each time I'd given the waiter a half a buck. This time I handed him the $50 bill. I held my breath. Suddenly, I knew I'd been a fool. He didn't put it in the cash register as he had the other money. Instead, he went down to the end of the bar and handed it to a man sitting there, obviously an American. He took it, looked at it, and then had the waiter point me out. I got up out of the booth and started for the street, but the American caught me at the door.
I'm, Chef Wright. I'm the manager.
Yeah. Hiya.
You give this $50 bill to the waiter?
Yeah. I guess I forgot to wait for my change, huh?
You don't want to go around forgetting money like this. This business?
Yeah, sure.
You know, you're taking a big chance. You're setting yourself up like a pigeon.
Well, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Don't get excited, amigo. It's border town. That's all. The wrong people might get the idea that you're carrying more bills like this.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Yeah, sure. But if you were, I could put you in touch with most anything. Maybe a little gambling. I could fix you up with a little game. Anything you want to buy, I can get it for you.
No, I don't want to buy anything. But suppose I wanted to sell something.
Sell? That's a little tough. I'd have to see a sample.
You got it, mister, right there in your hand. I was taking a crazy chance, but I'd kicked around Broadway long enough to know a contact man when I run into one, and Chuck Rice was definitely shady. He stood there scowling, turning the bill over and over in his hand.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to walk out on your change, yeah? Thought I had it spotted. You got more like this?
Yeah.
On you?
No, I'm not that much of a pigeon.
How much more?
Enough.
You want to dump it?
Maybe. Do the right kind of a deal.
Here's your 50 back. I don't know for nothing about this kind of commodity.
Well, I didn't pay for the drink.
It's all right, somehow. Your money's no good here.
I took the 50 and put it in my pocket. I shrugged and hoped my indifference went over. I was almost to the street when he called after me.
Hey, amigo.
Huh?
I just wondered. How much you got?
Why?
Well, if you got enough, maybe Nieves would be interested.
Nieves? Who's Nieves?
Down here, we don't ask questions like that. You go to the cab stand on the corner. Ask for Miguel. Tell him you want to see Nieves. Tell him Chuck Rice sent you. Only this time when they go, if you want to do business, you better have your dough on you.
Miguel. Hey, I'm talking to you. What's the idea? You keep going around in circles.
Can't sabe, senor.
Can't sabe my foot. I want to go to Nieves.
Yes, senor. Sí, Nieves.
Well, let's get going. Never mind the sightseeing. Miguel was driving down dark back alleys and dirt roads. I couldn't tell which direction we were going, and I'm sure that was the idea. But we were getting further and further out of town. I was beginning to wish I didn't have the money on me. I hadn't gone back to the hotel for it when Miguel suddenly pulled off the road into a ruddy gopher-hole courtyard of a broken-down hacienda. It was littered with debris. I stumbled over a pig. His squeals woke a bunch of chickens roosting on a fence. And then I saw it. He was lying in a canvas hammock, one bare foot hanging over the side, deep in the enjoyment of an oversized cigarette. She seemed asleep except for the rhythmic puffs of smoke. She never opened her eyes all the time I was there. Nieves? Chuck Rice sent me. He thought we might be able to work out a deal. I got some money. I want to sell it. Chuck Rice said that you might handle it. You hear me?
Yeah.
I got $15,000 American in 50s and 100s.
How much you want?
Well, what do you give me?
How much?
Well, I figured 5,000 would be fair.
No touch.
What?
Is that all you want? I no touch.
Why?
Too hot.
Well, if you think it's worth more...
No touch.
Okay, no touch. Come on, Miguel.
Si, senor.
Senor.
Yeah?
O'Toole.
What was that?
O'Toole, maybe he buy.
O'Toole? Where's O'Toole?
Miguel, no.
Si, senor. Come, I will take you.
Well, your English is improving, Miguel. Maybe your sense of direction will improve, too. And it did. As the crow flies, so did we. Straight to O'Toole's Dine and Dance. The gaudy tourist trap typoed on the outside with neon signs advertising the best food and music in Juarez. While inside, 5 Latin beboppers were making hash out of Embraceable You. Miguel okayed me to a squint-eyed character who reluctantly led me down a hall, up a steep flight of stairs. We stopped in front of a door.
Come in.
Behind a huge red lacquered desk sat a handsome Chinese in a dinner jacket smoking a long black cigar.
Good evening. What can I do for you? Thanks, perhaps?
No thanks. I came to see O'Toole.
Yes? I am O'Toole.
You, O'Toole?
It's one of those tricks of nature. I wear my mother's face and my father's name.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Well, think nothing of it, Mr. Smith?
Yeah. Smith.
Now, you have something you wish to sell?
That's right.
May I see the money?
Money? How did you know?
$15,000, as I understand it. How much do you want for it?
6,000.
You told Nieves. 5.
Nieves?
Oh, you're surprised. I know about that. Huh? Jack Webb always sends them out to the country to see Nieves before they come to me. Now, let me see the money. All of it.
Sure. Here. Look, I'll take the 5.
I'll give you...
Oh, now, wait a minute. There's 15,000 there. You won't have any trouble passing it in Mexico.
I know that. I also know that when this kind of money turns up in this part of the world, it means only one thing. I am your last resort. Well, Mr. Smith?
Yeah. Give me the 4,000. He went to the safe, got the money, and paid me. I got out of his office. Well, maybe I should have held out for more, but he gave me the creep. Besides, any way you look at it, 4,000's a lot of money. I could knock Henry Slapper's eyes out with less than that. Downstairs in the club, the floor show was on, when the Adagio team was going through its calisthenics. I was just passing the bar when she bumped into me.
Hello, Charlie.
No, I'm not Charlie.
Sure you're Charlie. You gotta be Charlie.
Go on, beat it.
Come on. Don't be a sucker. We're being watched.
Well, so what am I supposed to do?
Be smart. Buy me a drink.
Look, I told you, I'm not interested.
Interested in getting out of here alive?
What kind of a crack is that?
You see Squint Eyes over there by the entrance? Well, he's not the doorman.
Come on, look. What's this all about?
O'Toole. He wants back whatever it is he gave you.
I'll buy you that drink. Come on.
Make it scotch.
Yeah. Bartender, 2 scotch and sodas. All right. Now tell me why you're interested.
I'm supposed to knock you out.
You're what?
Those 2 drinks you just ordered. Yours will be loaded. And not with Romo quinine to cure your cold. Ever hear a knockout drop, tourist?
Yeah, sure, but I don't get it. What are you telling me for?
I don't know. Maybe because you're from my side of the border. Maybe because you don't look like the kind of scum that usually comes in this joint.
All right. So my drink's going to be loaded. And Squint Eyes is over to the front door to make sure I don't get away. I don't have much choice, do I?
Yeah, you do. I'm going to help you.
Help me?
After the drink hits you, I'm supposed to get you out the back door into the alley and then roll you.
Well, now, that'll be a big help.
But I'm not going to. Quiet. Here come the drink.
All right, what do I do now?
When I reach around you for the ashtray, they won't be able to see you. Switch the drinks. You drink mine.
Yeah, but how about
They
you?
don't expect me to drink it.
Yeah, but you...
No, switch them. Get it down. Drink it. In a minute, pretend you're dizzy. I'll help you get to the alley. And when you get there, you better run, brother. And run fast.
Help me off the stool, put my arm around her shoulder. We were almost to the door, almost to the alley. It was just perfect, except for one thing. I was dizzy. My stomach turned over and over, and I passed out cold.
moment, we will continue with Escape. But first, a lot's been said about the Sunday night entertainment on CBS, and rightly so. But take a look down the CBS listings during the entire week, and you'll find there's no let-up in the parade of all-star shows. Tomorrow, Wednesday night, and every Wednesday night, Bing Crosby, Groucho Marx, Burns and Allen, and Gene Hirschholt as the beloved Dr. Christian are heard on most of these same CBS stations. Dick Hames and the Andrews Sisters, Jack Smith and Dinah Shore are also on hand in their early evening quarter-hour programs. Make a habit of listening to CBS all through the week. And now we return you to the second act of Escape.
The smells were the same. Beer, tequila, stale black tobacco. But the sound had changed. There'd been music before. My stomach burned and my head throbbed. Somebody was lying across me. I raised up, tried to focus my eyes, but I couldn't. Gradually, I placed the sound. Some kind of a car. Bus? No, a truck. I was lying on the floor in the back of the truck, and there was a man lying across me. From the stench of him, he must have been drunk for a week, but from the inert way he lay, he could have been dead. I pushed him off and shook him. Where are we going? What is this? Hey, come on, wake up, will you? Listen to me. Then I suddenly remembered the money. The $4,000. It was gone. I was clean broke. I'd been rolled all right, and by a dame who even told me before she did it. Then I saw the rest of them. The truck was a big van, and it was loaded, packed with a drag to border town, a sodden human cargo. All of them filthy, bleary-eyed. But one of them looked awake and reasonably sober. Hey, you over there. You speak English?
Si, senor.
Well, what happened? What are we doing here?
Oh, we all fall drunk, senor. Oh, it's no good to fall drunk. Oh, you go to Hendler's.
Hendler's?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Oh, caray. No es bueno. Oh, I have been there before. I should know not to fall drunk. Oh, one whole month I have been there. Ese lugar es muy feo.
You've been where before? Where are they taking us? Tell me.
To Hendler's. Oh, he's a very bad man.
Hendler's? Well, who's Hendler?
Oh, you go to see, senor. You will see.
That's all I could get out of him. We were going to Hendler's, and it wouldn't be good. And it sounded like I was about to find out.
All right, you guys. Come on. The party's over. Hey, Miller. Move these tricks along. Come on. You guys don't look like no bunch of daisies, but we'll make you bloom, won't we, Miller?
He was a brute of a man, and he carried a .45 in a holster. He and the driver, Miller, herded us out of the truck like so many cattle. It was some sort of a road gang. I saw a sign blocking the road that read, Under Construction, Hendler Construction Company. Well, I had no idea where we were, how far away from the border. The landscape was dry, dusty, barren.
Well, Gonzalez, you with us again? Didn't we learn you not to get drunk, huh? Come on, you guys. Step on it.
All right, quit shoving.
Come on, come. Hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
Hello! How many times I got to tell you to be careful who you pick up?
Now, wait a minute, Jay. Don't get sore before I tell you.
Don't you know we can get in plenty of trouble picking up the wrong guy?
I didn't pick him up. O'Toole threw him in.
O'Toole?
Shut up, you. What O'Toole wish him on us for? Little Hensler hears about him.
Well, O'Toole has already talked with Hensler. He said this fellow will not give us any trouble. He is an embezzler. The police are looking for him.
You're crazy.
He came across the border to sell some money he had stolen from a bank or something. He must be plenty hot. He was willing to drop 15,000 real dough for 4,000 cash.
Real dough? What are you talking about? That was counterfeit I sold O'Toole.
Listen, buddy, I don't know what your racket is, but nobody fools O'Toole about money.
But it can't be real money. It was counterfeit, I tell you. It had to be. Look, I want to see Hensler.
You talk to me or you talk to nobody?
But I got to see Hensler. I got to get back to Juarez.
Oh? You hear that, Miller? He's got to get back to Juarez.
All right, look, you can't push me around. I'm an American.
Oh, he's an American. Well, send this to your congressman.
the pick and start working.
Hensler Construction Company. Just another name for a chain gang. I never saw Hensler. He wasn't there. But in the next week, I got to know Jake all right. I got to hate him. He drove us from dawn till dark, digging a road bed by hand, pick and shovel, in the hot sun, in the dust, without rest. But worse than the physical torture was the fuss that gave me no rest. I'd sold O'Toole real money. For now I realized I'd never really had any proof that the fat man was a counterfeiter. I just jumped to that conclusion. The bus driver... No, not the bus driver. A woman on the bus said that the bus driver said it, and it drove me crazy just thinking about it. Real money. $15,000. I'd had it in my hand, and I'd thrown it away. I had to escape. I had to. There'd been a man in a truck who said he'd been here before, so he must have gotten away somehow. He could help me. You're the man that was here before?
I am Gonzalez.
All right, you got away the other time, didn't you?
I see. But I am back. And this time I don't plan to go.
Well, how did you go? How'd you get out?
There is a highway.
There is? Where?
4 miles, 5 miles. Many cars pass there.
There's 4 or 5 miles. That's nothing.
Oh. Maybe it sounds nothing to you, senor. But those are bad miles to go. Oh, caray.
Only 4 or 5 miles. Over that way, he told me. Through the ravine. Well, I thought about it all that day, and I planned that I'd try it that night. But when we got back to camp, I was too dog-tired even to eat. I just flopped on the hard earth and fell asleep. Seemed that I just closed my eyes when I was shaken awake.
Hey.
Huh?
Hey. Get up, American. Get on your feet.
Huh?
I got a little job for you.
Oh, leave me alone, Jake. I'm tired.
Get up! You're all overtime.
He was murderously drunk. He had a bottle of whiskey in one hand and his .45 in the other. So I got up off the ground. All around me, the men were sleeping. If they heard him, they didn't pay any attention. He marched me down to the road bed and threw a pick at me.
There. I'll start digging.
But it's the middle of the night. Look, I'm dead.
You gotta finish the road. Start digging, I said.
What are you picking on me for, Jake? Why me?
You're gonna start digging? Well, I start shooting.
So I dug. I dug till my hands were bleeding and my lungs were scalded with the effort of breathing. He sat alongside the road, knocking off that fifth of whiskey and riding me every time I faltered. He was just mean drunk enough to kill me if I stopped. So I dug and I dug. Finally, I couldn't go on anymore. I was too tired to care. I dropped the pick and fell onto the road. My face was in the dirt. I lay there, panting, waiting for the bullet. When it didn't come, I turned my head, and what I saw gave me new life. Jake was sprawled out, dead drunk, and the .45 had slipped from his hand onto the ground. It was my chance. I hardly had enough strength left to move, but I knew if I didn't go then, it'd be too late. I'd never get away. I crawled over to him, and I got the gun, and somehow I got down the road and through that ravine, stumbled and crawled those hideous miles to the highway. And then I heard it, way down the road. With a car. I ran up like a madman and flagged it down.
What is that?
Give me a ride, will you?
Oh, you're American, huh? Going back to the States?
Yeah.
Well, hop in.
I leaned back against the seat, shut my eyes, and slept all the way into Waterhead.
Well, here you are. You said O'Toole's dine and dance. Sure I can't wait for you?
No, thanks just the same, but I got some business to take care of.
Okay. Good luck.
$15,000 worth of business, and Jake's .45 in my pocket to guarantee the deal. I went around to that back door and slipped in quietly, and then crept down the hall and up the stairs that Squint-Eyed had led me before. This time I entered O'Toole's office without knocking. Hello, O'Toole.
Oh. I didn't expect you back so soon. Sit down. Can I get you something?
Yeah, you can. $15,000.
Afraid I don't understand. We made a deal.
Why didn't you tell me the money was real, not counterfeit, huh?
Well, you seem to know what you were doing, and remember, you placed the value on the money. I did not.
Yeah, well, I've just revalued it. I want it back, all of it.
We made a deal, and I paid you, and I'm through with you.
And you owed me.
How you lost the money, I said you is no concern to me.
I didn't look in. Maybe this will be some concern to you. I took enough punishment to get this gun not to hesitate to use it. Now get the money while you're still alive.
Ah, that won't be necessary. How about 10,000?
Look, don't stall. 15.
But I should be allowed to realize some profit.
Hurry up, O'Toole. I haven't got all day.
I'll have to open this.
Then open it.
Will you take it in 10 and 20?
Now, look, you, I don't care how you give it to me, so long as it's American money. Now, quit stalling and get it. I didn't trust him. I expected any minute he'd pull something fast, but he didn't. He gave it to me. I never realized before the power of a gun. It makes short men tall and tall men strong.
Here you are.
Thanks. Now I could fly to Hollywood and have that suite at the Ambassador and throw a cocktail party, a big party. I'd show 'em. First, I stopped at the best men's shop in Juarez and got myself outfitted. An imported English tweed suit, cashmere top coat, couple of dozen shirts. I threw away my old clothes.
There will be something else, senor.
I'll take that alligator suitcase, too.
Si, senor, but you must remember when you go through customs, you must declare the clothes you are wearing. I have to report this.
Oh, sure, don't worry. And these neckties?
Si, senor.
I paid him with more than I'd spent on clothes in 10 years. I put $500 in my wallet and stashed the rest of the money away in my suitcase. Then I went to the American Club for a good dinner. Now I was all set to make my entrance. All I needed was a plane reservation for Hollywood. I was just going through customs when he ran up.
Stop it.
It was the clerk from the men's shop, gesturing wildly. The customs official listened, and then he came back to me.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have to detain you.
What?
Your wallet, if you please.
Oh, wait, I didn't buy the wallet from him.
If you please, sir, give it to me.
Okay, but it's just an American Hickok wallet, I tell you.
I'm not interested in the wallet itself, sir. Now we shall see.
There. You see? I tell you, look, all of it. What are you guys doing with my money?
You admit this is your money, mister?
Of course it is.
Then I'm sorry you'll have to come with me.
Why?
Because, mister, all the money in your wallet is counterfeit.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Tonight we have presented Border Town by John and Gwen Bagney. Featured in the cast were Jack Webb as Evan, Bill Conrad as Jake, Ben Wright as O'Toole, Tony Barrett as Bryce, and Jeanette Nolan as Nieves. Also heard were Ted DeCostia, Paul Frees, B. Benaderet, Jerry Hausner, and Harry Bartell. Special music was arranged and conducted by Del Castillo. Next week.
You are on a train from Rajahor to Calcutta. With you is a fabulous jewel, the most sought-after emerald in the world, in whose depths are mirrored terror and violence. And for you, there is no escape.
It's a proven surefire formula for better living. If we all work together to produce more per man, per machine, per hour, we all move together toward the benefits in living that are possible only under the American economic system. The better we produce, the better we live. For your free copy of the booklet, Miracle of America, write Box 10, Times Square Station, New York. Stay tuned now for Hit the Jackpot, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
10 p.m. BULOVA Boulevard watch time for a truly exquisite Christmas gift. Choose the Boulevard Miss America, only $33.75. Time now for a new secret saying and a new jackpot of prizes topped off by a four-door sedan. Time now for Bill Cullen and Hit the Jackpot. WCBS AM and FM.
To hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. You get a tip that a man is peddling heroin at his place of residence. He's a known user. Your job? Check it out.
documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, September 6th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of narcotics detail. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Walter. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 9:33 p.m. when we got to the corner of 8th and Temple. Converted garage.
Is that the right address?
Yeah, why don't you swing around here at the corner? We can park across the street up there.
Okay.
Yeah, right up here will do.
All right. Sure isn't much of a house. Looks more like a store or something.
Yeah.
You sure that's where he's living, Joe?
Yeah, Nicky says the place used to be a garage.
Oh?
Fellow who ran it went broke. Turned it into living quarters.
Oh, I see. How long's Denson been staying here?
About 6 months.
Alone?
No, he's got his family with him. Wife, 2 or 3 kids.
Well, what do you think? Should we tap him now?
Let's give it a couple of minutes, see if he's drawn any customers.
Okay. Is this Nicky sure about all this?
Yeah, he says he is. Says Denson's loaded for action, 30 or 40 caps.
Just got him tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Nicky know who he got him from?
If he does, he wouldn't tell me.
Joe. Front door.
Yeah.
Must be the wife. Wonder who she's looking for.
I don't see anybody.
Guess she doesn't either.
Well, that might make it a little easier for us.
What do you mean?
She left the door open. Approximately 45 minutes earlier, we'd received a telephone call from an informant named Nicky Corbin. Corbin had reported that Slim Denson, a known narcotics user who lived at the corner of Temple and 8th, had some 30 or 40 caps of heroin in his possession. Corbin said Denson was getting ready to push the stuff. Frank and I waited across the street from the Denson residence for 26 minutes. During that time, no one came in or out of the house, but the front door remained open. 9:59 p.m., a young man turned the corner and headed into the converted garage. 5 minutes later, he reappeared and started down the street.
Should we talk to him?
Yeah. Wait a minute, Frank.
Huh? I guess he forgot something.
Yeah.
Going back inside.
Let's give him some company. The man re-entered the Denson residence. As soon as he disappeared through the front door, I moved in after him. At the same time, Frank went around to the rear of the building. The garage had been crudely partitioned into rooms, and the front area contained an overstuffed sofa, a dining room table, and chairs, and a TV set. In addition to the young man who had gone in ahead of me, there were 2 other people in the room. The woman who had previously appeared in the doorway and a sallow-faced, middle-aged man.
Now, hold on, mister. Where do you think
Police
you're going?
officer, you're under arrest.
Police?
That's right. Don't move any of you.
It's fine time for you to be showing up. You ought to be ashamed.
How's that?
3 hours ago. That's when you should have been here. That's when we needed you.
Oh, now, take it easy, Alice. Don't start raising no snakes.
Little girl, only 7 years old, running around the city like this. Lord knows what could have happened to her. You call a cop, he don't even show up till 3 hours later.
I told you, hold your mouth.
Elsie's my baby. I was half out of my mind when she didn't come home from school. No thanks to you that she got home at all.
I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
Elsie, that's what I'm talking about, my baby.
Yeah. Anybody else around, Frank?
Yeah, a couple of youngsters sleeping in one of the back rooms. That's it.
All right. Now move over that wall. Go on, move.
I never heard of such a thing. Little girl gets lost on the way home from school. You send for a policeman that treats you like you were
You better get it straight, lady. You're under arrest. All of you. It hasn't got anything to do with your daughter.
Arrest?
Hey, but you can't arrest me. I ain't done anything.
Is that so?
You gotta have a reason for picking somebody up, a good reason.
Suspicion of violation of the State Narcotics Act. Is that good enough?
What?
Come on, over against the wall.
Come on, move. I'll check them, Joe.
Well, I see. You sure are making a mistake.
Yeah, we always do.
Oh, it's any mistake. You're plumb out of your mind. That's what you are.
Sure.
Called you on account of Elsie. On account of she got lost.
You're all right. This ain't good.
That's why we wanted you. Help us find her. Didn't have nothing to do with no narcotics.
If your daughter was missing and you reported it, you'd have had plenty of help.
Of course we reported it 3 hours ago. That's when you called them, Slim.
Huh?
When you went down to the drugstore, you said you was going to use the phone.
Oh.
Well, you called them, didn't you?
I guess maybe I forgot.
Forgot? Your own flesh and blood? Your own baby?
What's the difference? She's home, ain't she?
A lot of difference. You give me your word.
Now,
That's all.
look. You found your little girl. You got something else to worry about now.
I sure don't know what you're aiming at, mister.
You don't, huh?
Neither do I. You're accusing me of having something to do with narcotics, and I ain't never been mixed up with dope. I never even touched the stuff, not once.
Well, then we'll start with you.
Well, go right ahead. I ain't got nothing to hide.
What's your name?
Boston, Jerry Boston.
How old are you?
23.
You live around here?
Down the street, 4 houses east.
What do you do for a living, Jerry?
I work in a filling station over on Pico.
You married?
Yeah?
You got any kids?
No, not yet. We're expecting one next month.
Where do you think you're going?
I just wanted to see if the youngsters are still
Stay right here. They'll be all right.
Well, you're only talking to Jerry. I don't know
We'll
what.
get around to you soon enough. Now, why don't you sit down and take it easy, lady?
Better do like you said, huh?
Bullying a person in our own home.
Why'd you come over here tonight, Jerry?
I heard about Elsie that she was missing. I wanted to find out they found her.
I see. You came in, you went out, and then you came back in again. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right.
Well?
Well, Kitty wanted me to ask Mrs. Denson here something. Kitty's my wife.
Yeah.
I forgot when I was here first, so I had to come back.
What was it your wife wanted to find out? Come on, Jerry.
Oh, wasn't nothing important, just something about woman having a baby.
Uh-huh. You want to step over here now, Jerry?
Huh?
Over here, please. Beside the table.
Sure.
All right, empty your pockets, will you?
Yes, sir.
Take everything out. All right.
That's it.
All right, now turn the pockets inside out. How much money you got there, Jerry?
$20, $25.
You always carry that much cash, too?
Oh, I got paid today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, son, roll up your sleeves.
Do what?
Your sleeves. Come on, roll them up.
All right.
A little higher. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, roll them back down. You and the Dansons pretty good friends, right?
Oh, we're neighbors.
How long you know each other?
4 or 5 months, I guess. However long they've been living here. Hey, what the heck you doing with that lamp?
Why, is the light bother you?
Well, it's kind of bright when you're looking right into it.
Okay, Jerry, put your stuff back in your pocket. Now take a seat someplace.
Hey, wait a minute. You mean I got to stay here?
For the time being, yeah.
Well, look, Kitty will be worried. I only thought I was going to be gone a couple of minutes.
The idea of putting a nice young fellow like Jerry through all this foolishness. Well,
let's see how well you do it now, Denson.
Huh?
Come on, over here.
You already been wrong once, haven't you?
Maybe.
No sense carrying on like this. No sense at all. Now, why don't you fellas just admit you made a mistake and go on your way?
Over here. Come on, quit stalling, will you? Move. Now, go ahead. You empty your pocket. Is that all of it?
You got every little doodad.
Turn them inside out.
Whatever you say.
What do you do for a living?
Well, at the moment, I'm sort of looking around, you might say.
Yeah, I bet you. You got a family, Denson. How you feeding them?
Oh, we manage. We manage pretty good.
How?
Don't you worry none about my children. Ain't going hungry as long as I can work.
You live off your wife, do you?
Now, ain't no way to put it at all. She's just helping out while I'm having a rough spell.
All right, Denson, roll up your sleeves, huh? Come on, get them up, will you? Frank. Yeah. Look at this. He's got more tracks in the Southern Pacific.
Yeah. Well, look here. I must have scratched myself the other day. You know, I was doing some carpenter work.
How long have you been a hype fella?
Afraid I don't know what you mean.
Quit wasting our time, Denson. Now, how long?
Well, I reckon ain't no point in lying to you, gentlemen. Fact of the matter is, I did do a little chipping once in a while when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was some years
Those
ago.
marks haven't even started scarring yet. And from the looks of them, you're building up to a big batch of infections there.
Must be them scratches I was telling you about.
All right, Denson, where is it?
Huh?
The stuff, where'd you stash it? Come on, Denson. We know you got 30 caps. We're going to find it anyway, so I hold out.
30 caps? A guy like me couldn't afford that much stuff. Now, you ought to have more sense.
What'd you do, give it to your wife?
You ought to say a thing like that. Well, even if I did have a little H, I sure wouldn't want her to get involved. Last person in the world. Now, you can say whatever you got a mind to where I'm concerned. Now, you just leave her out of this.
You were pretty anxious to go into the bedroom a little while ago, Mrs. Denson.
I told you leave her out. Now, if you won't do what I tell you...
Take it easy, Denson.
It don't matter what happens to me. You can lock me up, give me the gas chamber, it don't matter. But my wife, she's a fine woman. I won't have you attacking her reputation. You can throw me in jail if you want to, stand me up in front of a firing squad.
Hey, come on, Denson.
But there's no reason to drag her in.
Now. Sit down.
She ain't done nothing. No reason to drag her in.
How about it, Miss Denson?
I just don't know what you're looking for, mister. I swear I don't.
Well, either you've still got it on you, or you've got it in the bedroom. Which is it? Well, you're not giving us any choice. Guess you better put in a call to the office, Frank.
Yeah.
Ask them they'll send a team over to take this joint apart.
Right.
Tell them we're bringing in a couple of suspects. See if they can get a policewoman to stand by so there'll be somebody to search Mrs. Denson when we get there.
All right.
Now, you just wait a minute, mister. can't arrest us. Not both Slim and me.
Is that right?
What about my youngsters? I won't leave them here alone.
Can you get somebody to stay with them?
Well, I guess Josie will be home before too long.
Who's Josie?
Our oldest girl.
Where is she now?
Went to the movies with her boyfriend. She's full-grown, almost 19.
How soon do you expect her back?
I don't know for sure. Pretty soon, an hour maybe.
We can't wait that long. Looks like we'll have 6 kids in, too. All right, Joe, I'll tell them downtown.
Yeah, that's Slim. You hear what they're saying?
Yeah.
You just gonna sit there? You're gonna let them drag our youngsters out of bed in the middle of the night?
There's another thing I can do, hon. I tried to tell them. You heard me try.
I'm not gonna have my kids in jail. Not for you, not for nobody.
It ain't right to get a man through his family, mister.
Yeah.
I told you before. Don't make no difference what becomes of me. You can send me away. You can put me in prison the rest of my life. You can give me the gas chamber.
Oh, you all through now?
You see, hon, I tried.
Want to go ahead with the call, Frank?
Yeah.
Probably take 5 or 10 minutes to get the kids dressed, then we'll shove off.
All right.
I ain't gonna stand for it, Slim. I warned you. Those kids ain't going to jail on account of you.
Alice?
He asked me to hide it when we heard Jerry Boston coming up the block.
Well?
I put it inside my dress. All right if I turn around?
Yeah.
I reckon this is what you want.
You know better than this, Miss Benson.
What?
There's no H in here. This is just his layout.
It's what he gave
You're
me.
married to a guy who's been hooked for a long time. You got a pretty good idea what the stuff looks like? We're not going to waste any more time here. Either you give us the caps or you go downtown, all 4 of us.
I'll get him for you.
You just tell us where they are.
Don't listen to him, Alice, honey. Don't listen.
Bedroom.
Which one?
Where the kids are sleeping.
Go on.
Under the pillow. Under Elsie's pillow. That's where he put it.
See the youngest?
Yes, sir. I'd appreciate it if you'd try not to wake her. She did a lot of wandering around when she's lost. She's all tuckered out.
Yeah.
I had to tell him, Slim. I had to.
It sure was a lousy trick, mister.
What's that?
Holding them youngsters over her head, making her fret about them just so you can break her down.
Mm-hmm.
Real lousy. You ain't got no kids you own, have you?
No.
Oh, that's how I had it figured. The way you talked, Alice. The way you kept on her. Parent wouldn't act that way.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years. Not a real parent, that is.
Well, there's just one thing that I don't understand here, Denson.
What's that?
How would you know? One of the pillows in the children's bedroom, Frank found an envelope which contained 32 caps of heroin. Denson admitted that the 8 belonged to him, but he refused to tell us where he'd acquired it. Jerry Boston denied any knowledge of the drug. We made arrangements for the 2 Denson children to be placed under protective custody of the Juvenile Division. 10:42 p.m., we took the Densons and Jerry Boston down to the Narcotics Bureau for further questioning. Our investigation revealed that Boston was not implicated in the case, and he was released. 11:17 p.m., while Frank interrogated the Denson woman, I talked to her husband in the adjoining room.
Oh, I never saw the like. You sure are hard to satisfy, mister. I told you the stuff was mine. Now what more do you want?
It just doesn't add up, Denson.
Don't see why not.
Well, you called it back at your place.
What's me?
Well, where would a hype like you get enough money to buy 32 caps?
Well, I had me a little extra put away. Price was right, so I made a buy.
Oh, now, don't give me that. You're scratching just to keep even with your habits. I'll bet you hook. Now, we've seen the marks on your arms. You want me to guess? 3 caps a day. That about it? All right, Denson. Who's the stuff belong to? Look, fella, you're dead. We can make you on possession, maybe even on sale.
Sale? You must be off your rocker. You know I never sold none of them.
Story we got, you're already to start pushing. For all we know, you started.
Anybody told you that, he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't no pusher, never have been.
Then what are you doing with 32 caps?
I keep a telling you, mister, they were cheap.
How cheap?
$5 a cap. Now, that's mighty reasonable for them these days.
$165 isn't reasonable. You never saw that much money. All right, who'd you buy them from?
Oh, wouldn't be nobody you know.
Well, why don't you try me?
I don't know myself.
Uh-huh.
Ain't from L.A.
Yeah.
I met him last week, took a trip down south across the border.
Oh, sure you did.
That's how come I made me such a good buy.
You bet. Now, you listen, Denson. We didn't drop in on you tonight just because we were in the neighborhood.
That's so.
We wouldn't have been there if we didn't have information. You know that as well as I do.
Well?
Our info is that you just got those caps tonight.
But I tell you, somebody sure has been spreading a lot of wild stories about me.
They've been on the nose so far. Where are you spending your time these days?
I reckon we covered that before.
Well, I reckon we'll try it again.
I stayed at home mostly.
Were you home yesterday?
Sure was.
Day before?
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
A real homebody, aren't you?
Figure ought to stick pretty close, seeing as how the wife's working.
Well, that's sure considerate of you. When was the last time you were downtown?
Whereabouts down there?
Maine, Alameda, anywhere in there.
Afraid I just don't recall.
Last week, maybe?
Oh, no, it wouldn't have been last week. I wasn't feeling rightly. Didn't go no place last week.
Then how'd you get to Mexico?
Guess my memory ain't as good as it used to be. Reckon I'm kind of mixed up.
You sure are. Right in here, Frank. Sit right over there.
Now, honey, you take it easy. They can't do nothing to you.
She knew where the stuff was. That ties her right into possession.
Told you where to find it. What else do you want?
Who do the caps belong to, Mrs. Denson?
To Sims. They belong to him.
Where'd he get them?
I don't know. Honest, I don't.
Did you have any visitors tonight besides Jerry Boston? Well, come on.
I can't think of nobody. Slim, you've got to do something. You've got to get me out of here.
Ain't a single solitary thing I can do.
I want to know what's happened to my kids.
All right, take it easy, lady. They're in good hands.
I want to know. They ain't never been away from me, not since they was born. They'll be all upset if I'm not there. Can't you understand how I feel?
Yes, we can.
My fault anyway. It's all my fault.
No, hon, you oughtn't talk like that.
Well, it is. I should have left you, Slim. I should have left you 10 years ago when you first started taking dope. We wouldn't have had the other two kids. It'd just be Josie. Bad enough what's happened to her.
Yeah. If you start worrying about Josie.
Last time somebody worried about her, ain't it? Going out with a married man. Wasn't for you and your dirty, filthy dope. You'd never have met him.
Alice, I'm telling you, shut up.
That's enough out of you, then.
Oh, sure. He can't do no wrong as far as you're concerned. God gives you a free bindle. That makes him a fine fella, don't it? Fit company for your daughter.
Who are you talking about, Miss Denson?
Perk Helvey. That's who. He's the one who gives Slim them caps. He's the one. Going out with Josie. First thing you know, she'll be on the stuff, too, just like a father.
That who she's with tonight? Helvey?
Tonight. Last night. Every night. I talked to her till I was blue in the face. Just like a father, that's what she is, just like him.
You know where they went?
They said to the movies. No reason to believe them, though.
You could have given us all this, Denson.
Well, they weren't my caps. I was just keeping them for Perk till he brought Josie home tonight. Boy, he finds out what's happened, he's sure going to blow his stack.
Yeah.
Guess maybe I got to shooting off my mouth too much about having them 32 caps. Made me feel like a big man. Never had that much stuff for my whole life. Told some of the other boys it was mine. It shows you how you can get in trouble from a little exaggerating.
Yeah.
Only had them caps a couple hours before you fellas showed up. Couple of hours. That's all it took. Look at this here mess I'm in.
No, it took you a little longer than that, Denson.
What do you mean?
10 years. From previous investigations, Frank and I knew that Perk Helvey was involved in the narcotics trade. He'd been arrested several times for possession, but so far he'd always managed to escape conviction. At the time of his last arrest, some 5 months ago, he had been in the company of his wife, Marjorie. When the wife was searched, 3 ounces of heroin were found on her person. Marjorie Helvey had not been known to us as a pusher or a user. But when her husband was questioned, he denied any knowledge of the dope. His wife was sentenced to a term at the women's state prison. 12:08 a.m. Frank and I drove back to the Denson residence. The place was deserted. We went inside to wait for Helvey and Josie Denson. 1:16 a.m.
Well, if he wouldn't cop out to save his own wife, he's not going to give us anything.
You know.
Well, it sure is some family.
Well,
I can't help feeling sorry for the kids, though.
Well, me too.
Wait a minute. Somebody's out in front there.
Yeah.
How do you want to work it?
Well, let's split them up. I'll talk to the girl. You take him in the other room, see what you can get.
All right.
You want to come in for a sec?
Yeah, that's something I remember.
Guess they're all in bed.
Sure hope the old man didn't shoot too many of my camps.
Police officer, you're under arrest. Don't try anything, Helvey.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on here? Where is everybody?
The folks are out.
What'd they do, get themselves pinned?
Let me see your purse.
Sure. Anything you want, help yourself.
Come on, move over here. Keep your hands out of your pockets and stand still.
Okay. It's a good thing I ain't ticklish, huh?
All right. All right. Come on, Helvey.
Huh?
I want to talk to you out in back.
Yeah, sure.
What'd you guys do? Draw straws for us? Well, don't look so sad about it, honey. You won.
I'm not so sure of that.
I got the smart one, huh?
Your mother and father have been arrested,
Oh?
and it's not going to go easy on them.
Who cares? The old man's a bum. Always has been. When I was a little girl, he was a lush. Now he's a hype. I don't notice any change.
What about your mother?
What about her?
She's been trying to hold the family together, hasn't she?
Might be better if it fell apart.
I'm going to give it straight to you, young lady. Your folks say that the caps we found belong to your friend Perk Helving. Is that true?
I wouldn't know.
You'd know if you wanted to. It's going to be their word against his unless you step in.
Include me out.
Maybe you got a beef against your father.
Maybe.
Well, whatever you give me won't help him much. Might make a difference in your mother's case, though.
Oh, come on. You don't care any more about my folks than I do. You're after Perk.
It was his stuff, wasn't it?
I don't know.
You better think it over.
Why should I?
You don't mean anything to him.
Isn't what he tells me.
He's got a wife, hasn't he?
The way I hear it, she's out of town.
You know who sent her there? Nothing to keep the same thing from happening to you.
It won't.
You ever seen your mother cry, Josie? Well, I did tonight. She wasn't crying for herself either. It was for you and your kid sisters. You got a choice. Who's it going to be? Your mother or that two-bit pusher in there?
Not a very nice way to talk about a friend of mine, is it?
Is that your answer?
I had a big night. I'm kind of tired. You got nothing on me, so I think I'll just toddle off to bed.
You just stay put.
Joe.
Yeah. I'm not through with you yet. Stay here.
You were through before you ever started.
She doesn't care about her mother or anybody else. It'd be easier to crack Elvie, I think.
No, it was. But he copped out. So the stuff is his. He's got some more in his car.
What turned the key?
I don't know. Maybe he likes this girl. Maybe that's why he held back on his wife to get rid of her.
When you guys get done comparing notes, I'd like to get a little shut-eye.
We're done.
Now you're playing it smart. No point in running into a stone wall, is there?
Your mind's made up, huh?
It's a general idea. You want to pin something on Perk, you better look someplace else.
We don't have to, and we don't need you either.
What?
Neither does your mother. For her sake, I'm glad she doesn't.
Who are you trying to hand?
I'm not handing you anything. Perk gave us what we asked for, more than enough.
I don't believe you. Why should he?
Well, you better ask him.
Don't make any sense. I would have backed him up. Whatever he told you, he knows that.
Sure he does.
Crazy jerk. Probably thinks he's doing me a favor, helping out my folks. Some joke, huh?
Yeah. Who's it on?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 28th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Percy Foster Hilsey entered a plea of guilty and was sentenced for violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Porter Slim Denson and Josephine Annabelle Denson were tried and convicted of violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony. Violation of the State Narcotics Act, a felony, is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life. The two young Denson children were placed under 24-hour supervision in a foster home. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Jack Crucian, Joyce McCluskey, Herb Ellis. Script by Frank Burt. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
My name's Jeff Regan. I'm the Lion's Eye, his private eye.
I work for Anthony J. Lyon, head of the International Detective Bureau. He doesn't care where the money comes from, just so long as it comes to him. He cashes in on trouble, and for him it pays off. For me, it's work.
Here's the kind of adventure you've been waiting to hear. Hard-boiled action and mystery with radio's most exciting private detective, Jeff Regan. So stand by for trouble and suspense in tonight's story of The Prodigal Daughter. And now, here's Jack Webb as Jeff Regan.
Well, this is the way it started. Melody was sitting in the outer office wearing her horn-rimmed glasses. That told me that the client was in with a lion. I smiled at her, and she blinked back, rolled her eyes toward the lion's den.
He's polite today.
Yeah, I know. On the phone, I was Jeffrey.
No.
Yeah?
Why do you stand for it?
I wish I knew, Melody. Buzz me in, will you?
Yes, Melody.
Mr. Regan's in now, Mr. Lyon.
Oh, well, send him in. Send him in. We're waiting.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Ah, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, my boy. My boy. Come in, come in. There's someone here I want you to meet. Now then, Jeffrey. Mr. Carter, this is Mr. Jeffrey Regan, one of my very best men. Jeffrey, this is Mr. Daniel Carter.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Regan? Mr. Lyon has assured me that you're a discreet young man.
Well, I
full
always...
of discreetness, Mr. Carter. International Detective Bureau is ethically bound to employ sympathetic, understanding personnel, as well as alert, productive operators.
I hope that's true, Mr. Lyon. In my publishing business, I never had the occasion to settle my trust on any one person.
Very delicate situation, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Mr. Carter. Everything said in this room is in the strictest confidence.
Well, I want you to know that it wasn't easy for me to come here. It's admitting defeat in a way. Patrice is my daughter. 5 years ago, she walked out. Oh, I can understand in a way. When her mother died, I started sending her away to schools. I was no companion for her.
Well, have you heard from her at all? Do you know where she is?
I've never heard from her, Mr. Regan, since she left. I don't know where she is. But I want her back, Mr. Regan.
I can see how you feel.
International is in business to make people happy.
Now, I've offered Mr. Lyon a $2,000 fee if he can find my daughter.
$2,000. That figures.
Now, you can trust International to find your daughter and bring her back.
Well, then I guess that's all, Mr. Regan. I'll go now. You'll let me know as soon as you find anything?
Of course, of course.
Then good day, gentlemen.
Trust International, Mr. Carter. Good day. Here's your ticket. You leave on the Sunset Limited at 1:45 today.
I do?
You're going to New Orleans to pick up that dame and bring her back. She was 19 when she left home, and any dame who's 19 has a boyfriend next door. I found out that much in 2 phone calls. The boyfriend hasn't heard from her in over a year. But that means she's got another boyfriend down there. Here's the New Orleans address.
You knew all this?
Here's a picture of her. She's just been staying away from the old man. This is going to be a nice piece of change. $2,000 for bringing her back, plus expenses.
How do you know she'll come back with me? She walked out all alone. That means she wants to be all alone.
Maybe we could make another 1,000 if some nosy newspaper guy just happens to get tipped and wants money to keep quiet.
You're crawling with ethics, aren't you?
Melody will give you some travel checks.
Sympathetic, understanding.
Better pack some things before you miss your train.
Just in business to make people happy.
I want to be happy, too. Beat it. Call me if...
Cotton Boy, here's just one thing I'll tell you right now.
They serve the most delicious ice Charlie had to go racing.
2 days later in New Orleans at the Roosevelt Hotel, home of the original Ramus Gin Fizz, I figured it would take a lot of fizz to pull away that southern heat, but everybody in the lobby seemed cool enough in linens, tropicals, and seersuckers, except me and a big perspiring man leaning against the CNS ticket counter. He smiled when he saw me and came across the lobby holding out his hand.
Well, I'm really glad to see you. We thought you'd never get here. Nice trip?
It was all right.
See, the rest of the boys are headquartered in E10. They're mighty anxious to meet you.
They are?
Mighty anxious. Delta cotton growers are going to make it or break it at this convention. Now, I want to...
He was talking real sincere and bent over to make a gesture. The accent was phony, but the bulge inside his double-breasted gabardine coat was real enough. It was a .38 automatic.
I see. I'll take you up right now.
Why don't I meet you up there later, huh?
Well, all right, if you'd rather. That's room 810. I'll go out and get a bite and eat you.
You do that. About an hour. Clerk.
Yes, Mr. Regan?
How long have the Delta cotton growers been in town?
The Delta cotton growers?
Uh-huh.
What, I had their convention last May.
Last May?
Yes, sir.
Who's registered in room 810?
Well, we have no 810, Mr. Regan.
That's what I thought. Thanks. What do you do with a big man, a phony accent, .38 automatic, and no Delta Cotton Growers convention? You tell me. 2 hours later, in a fresh shirt and a wrinkled suit, I was still working on that one as I climbed the stairs to the Ursuline Street address where Patrice Carter lived. It was one of those dirty, unpainted apartment houses in the French Quarter, full of heat and low-watt light bulbs. The girl who opened the door was tall, black-haired, wore a black dress. The picture Lion had given me of Patrice Carter was a blonde.
Yes?
My name's Regan. I wonder if I could see Patrice Carter. Huh?
Patrice, you're a friend of hers?
Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles.
How do you do, Mr. Regan? I'm Janice King, Patrice's roommate. Please come in.
All right.
Right this way.
Maybe it was because the 2 big rooms I followed her through were dimly lit, or maybe it was the sweet, sick smell of flowers. I don't know, but perspiration began to trickle down my back, and I braced myself when Janice King opened another door.
Here you are, Mr. Regan.
She was young and lovely and blonde, with a burning candle, very dead. Patrice Carter. I just stood there in that dark room, and I looked down at her. I think there were other people in the room feeling the same as me and thinking the same thoughts. I must have stayed that way for 5 minutes. And then I felt Janice King touch my arm.
Did you know Patrice very long?
No, I didn't.
She asked to have it this way. I know how you must feel being a friend, Mr. Regan.
Look, Miss King, I didn't know her at all, and I didn't know that she was passed away. I'm a private investigator. I was hired by Daniel Carter to locate his daughter.
Daniel Carter?
You knew that she had a father?
Yes, Mr. Regan, I knew. She told me about him. She told me everything. Oh, you aren't the first one who's been here looking for her. There have been others. Detectives and lawyers trying to get her to go back.
Carter knew she was here?
If he'd loved her for just one unselfish moment, she'd never have left him. Well, Mr. Regan, she's where he can't bother her anymore. She's where he can't ever see her. Tell him that when you go back. Tell him she's going to be buried tomorrow. Tell him he can stop hiring lawyers and detectives to find her. Why don't you take him a copy of her death certificate? That ought to satisfy him. Now get out! Get out!
Well, the whole thing had looked too easy right from the beginning. I took her advice and I went down to the morgue to get the dope on Patrice Carter's death. There was one white coat there, a little man with a bald head who introduced himself as Oliver Fig.
So you're from Los Angeles. So how are things in Los Angeles? What'd you say your name was?
Regan, International Detective Bureau. Came here to locate a girl named Patrice Carter. I just came from her apartment.
Mm-hmm. And she's dead.
Yeah, I know. How?
Might have wiggled herself to death. Did a dandy strip number at Joe Glorioso's joint.
Stripper?
Yeah, you got him in Los Angeles, ain't you? Seen that Carter dame lots of times. Great.
Well, I thought maybe you could give me a copy of the death certificate. I got to take something back with me.
Sure. Glad to do it. Oh, she was a real girl. Shame, dirty shame. So how's things in Los Angeles? And let's see. Blanky. No, not the same guy. Blacker. Homicide? They fished him out of the river. Mississippi mud. Get it?
Got it.
So, how are things in Los Angeles? Here you are. Carter. Patrice Carter. 731 Ursuline. Mm-hmm. Coroner's report referred to Dr. Emmett Swarzy. Here you are. Dame died 3 days ago of leukemia.
Let me see that.
Sure.
Leukemia? Then she knew.
Sure. You get tipped plenty in advance on leukemia. Any doctor will tell you almost to the day.
Nothing else?
I mean, was there something fishy about it? Nah, all kosher. So how's things in Los Angeles?
Any relatives?
None listed.
Well, that's it, I guess. Can I have a copy of it?
Sure. Take that, and we got plenty more. Lots of people want death certificates for legal reasons. I once knew a guy who saved them like cigar bands or stamps. One whole wall of his bedroom papered with nothing but death certificates. Imagine. All homicides. So how's things in Los Angeles?
Yeah, this is fine, Oliver.
See you around. Glad to hear things are better in Los Angeles.
Wasn't anything more to do after that but go back to the hotel and try to get a reservation out of town. When I asked for my key, the clerk passed me 3 printed messages telling me that a Mr. Lyon of Los Angeles had been calling. When I got to my room, he called again.
Regan, is that you? Where you been?
Keep your shirt on.
Come on, tell me. Did you see her?
Yeah, I saw her.
What'd you say? She's gonna play ball? How soon are you coming back?
She didn't say anything, and we aren't coming back.
What do you mean?
She's dead.
What?
D-E-A-D. Dead.
She can't do that.
It happened 3 days ago. Leukemia.
Now, wait a minute. Old man Carter's paying us $2,000 to bring her back.
They're going to bury her tomorrow morning, and they don't want any interference. She was laid out. Her roommate laced me up and down for working for the old man. Name of Janice King. Good-looking brunette.
I told Carter we'd bring back his daughter, and we will. There's $2,000 in this, and you know how I feel about money.
Yeah, I know.
So get busy.
Now, look. I've done a lot of dirty, rotten things for you, but he's an old man, and he's sick, and I'm...
And he doesn't wear dark glasses because it's a sunny day. He's almost blind. Now go on over and get that roommate and bring her back. He'd never know the difference.
I won't do it.
Offer her $500 to come here and pose as Patrice Carter for a week. And she could take a powder.
I won't do it.
I'm calling Carter first thing in the morning and telling him you found his daughter and that you're on your way back to Los Angeles.
I won't do it.
Let me take you away from all this. Come on, this ought not hurt you anymore.
It was in the French Quarter. They served a thing called a Sazerac and promised a very good floor show at 1 o'clock. I sat there watching the piano player and feeling kind of sorry for myself. I figured I had more trouble than anybody else, so I had 3 for Regan. It was about then a tall redhead with a long cigarette holder eased off her stool at the other end of the bar, patted a bald-headed guy on the head, and came over my way. She gave me time enough to get a whiff of her perfume and then leaned into me.
Jane?
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I'm the new headliner. I'm going to dance pretty soon. You ain't antisocial, are you, mister?
No, Red. I'm just lonesome for home.
Where's that?
Los Angeles.
Hey, that's a good time.
And what are you doing here?
Work. I'm the new stripper.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
That's a tough racket. Pick 'em up and put 'em down, put 'em on, take 'em off. 10 years now.
That right?
Mm.
How about drink?
No, never when I'm working. Later, maybe?
Maybe.
Are you sure you ain't antisocial? I look all right, don't I? I mean, I ain't slipping.
Come here.
Let go.
No hard feelings, Red. I just want to see your face.
You're crazy or something?
Come on, stand still. No, in the light.
What's the matter? Something wrong with me?
No, not a thing, baby. You're just fine. How long did you say you've been dancing?
I've been dancing 10 years. Let go.
Oh, hold still. That makeup. You wear it all the time?
That's doing my business.
All right.
Let me scared there for a minute. You oughtn't to grab hold of a girl like that.
Red, you mind if I ask you a personal question?
Well, now, wait a minute. I just met you.
No, it's about your face.
What's the matter with my face?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh. Oh, sure, go ahead.
That grease paint and makeup. Using it heavy like that for a long time, it's hard to get off, huh?
Oh, can't ever get all of it off, mister. When you've been in the business as long as I have, always got to have some of it on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is that what you wanted to ask me?
That's it.
Well, you can get more personal than that. You're a little screwy, but I like you.
Not like you, Red. Thanks.
Hey, where you going? What about the drink after my number?
Rain check me, Red. I got things to do. I had to go back to Janice King's apartment. It was a sticky, sick kind of New Orleans night. From one lighted street, I turned off on Ursuline, a darker, dirtier street. I stopped, right in the middle of the block. All kinds of people had followed me at one time or another, and I followed all kinds of people. But this had a professional feel to it. Stood there, listening, remembering my automatic and my suitcase back at the hotel. It only took him a second. He was a professional, all right. All I could see was well-pressed gabardine, 2 arms, and a hand-painted tie. The next thing was a gun butt carefully wrapped in a white linen handkerchief. Settled slowly against the side of my head. One of the well-pressed arms reached over and held me under the shoulders. I yelled at the top of my lungs, but there wasn't any noise. Regan of International was out as cold as a can of beer.
We'll return to Jeff Regan, Investigator, in just a moment. An easy way to save for future security is by a payroll deduction for savings bonds. Or if you're not paid on a salary basis, you can purchase savings bonds at your nearest post office, bank, or Savings and Loan Association office. Now is the time to ask your employer to start deducting for savings bonds or to buy a bond on your own. If no other plan is feasible, your bank will deduct enough each month from your savings or checking account to buy a savings bond. For money in the future, buy United States savings bonds. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to the story of the prodigal daughter and Jeff Regan, Investigator.
I declare you amaze me. When you look at that, isn't that all plain? Him all dressed up like
We won't pay any attention to him, honey.
The next thing I knew, a man in a straw hat and a polo shirt was kneeling down beside me, carefully smelling my breath.
Easy now, buddy, easy. You've been making whoopee. Yep, that Sazerac will do it every time.
Ooh.
You know, you folks visiting down here ought to be more careful. Get your suit all dirty?
It hit me on the side of the head.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the side of the head, sometimes the back. No difference at all. Always wind up in the same place, on the street somewhere. Had enough for the night?
Yeah, plenty.
Mm-hmm. I'll take you to your hotel.
Huh?
That's my cab. I nearly ran over you. Your first trip?
Yeah.
Well, you know better next time.
Oh.
Easy now.
Did you see my friend?
Hmm?
Big man, gabardine suit.
See nobody. Want to look for him?
Later.
Say, what you hunting for?
My wallet.
Somebody take it?
No, nothing's missing. Everything's right here.
Mm-hmm. Honest town.
Oh, yeah, you're so right.
Well, you feel better when you get back to your place.
Yeah, sure. It wasn't quite right. I didn't feel better until the next morning when I got a telegram and read, found out Carter's broke. Come back. Forget the whole thing. Lying. And that was the first good news I'd had in 3 days.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? She's buried, gone.
Yeah, I know. I came back to see you.
Wait a minute. You can't come in here.
I just did.
What do you want now?
You. Yes, you. I was hired to come to New Orleans and bring Patrice Carter back to Los Angeles.
She's dead and buried, and you know it.
That's what you say. That's what a death certificate says. There's only one thing I learned lately. Don't believe what people say. Don't believe what death certificates say.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but
Oh, stop it, will you? I know you're Patrice Carter, and I know the girl who was buried yesterday was the real Janice King. And I know somebody's trying to make a monkey out of you and a monkey out of me. Now listen to me. If I have to, I can have that body exhumed. I can go into fingerprints and birthmarks, yeah, and a lot of things, but I don't think I'll have to. You see, Patrice Carter wasn't the type to do a striptease for a living.
you're just trying to make something out of nothing. I'll call the police and have them arrested.
Last night, I ran into the redhead who took her place. She told me what a tough life it is. 10 years of wearing grease paint can be kind of rough on your skin. The dead girl I saw had those kind of marks. The girl I'm looking for couldn't have been in the business that long.
Why don't you leave me alone?
I don't know who talked you into a thing like this, but it's all wrong. He's an old man now. He's broke and lonely, and he wants to see you. I don't know what your differences are, but I want to take you back. What do you say?
He was so off. He hated. I know he did. I never want to see him again.
What's he been telling you?
Tim. Oh, Tim, he knows everything.
He doesn't know anything. He'll never know anything. This your boyfriend? He had a phony accent when he tried to shake me down in the hotel lobby. Get out of here, Regan. I played ball and you had to quit trying. It all fits now. This guy's been holding your hand for the last year. He's been real sympathetic. Get out before I throw you out. He told you how to trade names with that poor kid who was dying of leukemia. He told you to send me to that morgue for a death certificate. And he dropped me in the gutter last night to make sure I had it. You know why?
Don't listen to this character. Baby's off his nut.
He's a private detective from Los Angeles who's been getting paid to make love to you.
No.
Regan, I told you to shut up. Oh, he was good at the side street work, but this was an apartment, and he didn't have enough room to move fast. I let him have the top of my head under his chin for a starter. And then I took a lot of feet in my face, but when he started across the carpet pulling for that 38, I saw my chance. She stood there and watched him go down.
It's not true. It's not true. You're just here to make more trouble for me. You're just here to make
Am I? I thought I recognized the touch. Here. Here's his wallet. Look for yourself. Here, catch. Timothy Conover, Private Investigations. Well? Oh, come on, kid. I'll take you back home.
You're back. How was New Orleans? Oh, I didn't know you had someone with you.
I'll see you later, Melody. The lion in?
Yes, but I wouldn't go in. He's in a bad mood.
Uh-huh. What else? Come on, Pat.
Regan! So you finally got back, did you? I suppose you've on an expense account that it took a horse. Well, let me tell you that it's all coming out of your salary. We didn't make a nickel on that Carter thing, and who's this?
Patrice Carter.
How do you do, Mr. Lyon?
I thought I told you to leave her down there, because that old schmo was giving us the runaround and hasn't got a nickel to his name. Besides, she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
That's right. Here's a death certificate to prove it. Now listen to me before you blow the rest of your cylinders. I went to a lot of trouble to bring this girl here.
Well, you can send her back where she came from, and I'll take her fare out of your salary.
On the train coming back, Mr. Regan explained a great many things to me about myself and about you, Mr. Lyon.
Well, I wish you'd explain something to me.
When I was a baby, my father placed a trust in a large holding company under my name. $50,000. And I can claim it any time after my 21st birthday.
Yeah? How old are you now?
Old enough. Mr. Regan found out that much.
I made a phone call to Dun and Bradstreet, know a lot of things.
Go on.
Nothing more, Mr. Lyon, except I claimed that trust today, and I'll be glad to pay you the $2,000 fee that my father promised you.
Well, now, that's very generous of you, Miss Carter. The International Detective Bureau is proud to have had a small part in bringing you and your estranged father together.
I'm not going back to him, Mr. Lyon. I don't want to see you.
Now, my dear, you're upset.
Leave her alone, Lyon. Now, look. I tussled with a private detective named Conover down in New Orleans. He'd been hired by old man Carter to convince Pat that she should switch names with a burlesque girl who was dying of leukemia. Conover does a good job. When the girl dies, Conover wires Carter. Carter comes to you, you call me in and hustle me off to New Orleans, where, according to a perfect setup, I find a phony Patrice Carter dead. I bring back a death certificate, which you turn over to Carter, and then he walks right down and collects that trust fund, which reverts to the original maker only on death.
And him with that story about being old and lonely and wanting only to see his daughter. Telling me he'd pay me a $2,000 fee. Why, that dirty crook, he's no better than I am. He tried to make a sucker out of me.
He did. You fell for the whole thing.
Trust fund in your name. Well, young lady, you can sit right down here at my desk and make out your check. And then I think that as long as you're in town, you might just drop over and see your old father. International Detective Bureau is in business to make people happy. And
that's all.
You too, Ben.
Did everything come out all right?
Yeah, I guess so. She's writing a check. That's what he wants. Cigarette?
Yes.
Thank you.
Why do you do it, Jeff?
Hot in here, isn't it? The air feels good. Makes you clean. He doesn't care whether it's homicide or arson or a lost daughter or just people getting kicked around. He makes money on it. I help him.
You didn't answer me. Why do you do it?
I don't know, Melody. I don't know.
Remember, an easy way to save for the future is to buy United States savings bonds. You can buy bonds at your nearest post office, bank, or savings and loan association, or you can ask your employer to start deducting for a bond a month on the payroll savings plan. A bond a month is good security for the years to come. For money in the future, buy United States savings bonds now. You'll be glad you did. Jack Webb is featured as Jeff Regan, Investigator, with Wilms Herbert as Anthony J. Lyon and Laurette Phil Brandt as Melody. Tonight's cast included Betty Lou Gerson as Red, Lou Krugman as Conover, Theodore Von Eltz as Mr. Daniel Carter, Eve McVeigh as Patrice Carter, and Harry Lang as...
How's things in Los Angeles?
Remember, it's CBS same time next week for hard-boiled action and mystery with radio's most exciting private detective, Jeff Regan, as he tells the story of the Lonesome Lady. Jeff Regan, Investigator, is written by E. Jack Newman, produced and directed by Gordon T. Hughes, with original music by Del Castillo. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned the homicide detail. You get a call telling you that the body of a man has been found in the motel room. There's no lead to his true identity. Your job? Check it out.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, July 19th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the main jail, and it was 5:27 p.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide.
Hi, how'd it go?
He's willing to make a statement. He copped to the whole thing.
That's going to save us some time.
Yeah. Could have saved a lot more if he'd gone with us last week, though.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Paperwork. Want to give me a hand?
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. How's the family?
Pretty good. Faye thinks he's got appendicitis. Faye thinks he has appendicitis. Woke me up at 2:30 this morning. Got a pain in her side. Sure it was appendicitis.
Yeah.
I told her to call a doctor. No, she didn't think it was that bad. Not to call a doctor. Just enough to keep me awake worrying about it. This morning the whole thing's gone, though. No trouble. Says it's probably heartburn.
Why don't you give her a couple of your Pepto pals?
Oh, Joe, that's very funny. Funny.
Homicide Friday. Yeah, that's right. What's that? What's that address? No, we'll be right out. No, not anything. Right. Goodbye.
Work?
Work. Made at a motel out on Sepulveda. Found a body in one of the cabins.
Yeah.
Thinks it's a suicide. Frank and I left the office and drove out to the address. It was a modern motel set back from the highway. There were 14 cabins surrounding a swimming pool on the lot. We met with the woman who'd placed the call and the owner of the place.
Right over there, number 8.
Anything been touched in the room?
No, sir. As soon as I saw him, I knew what had happened. I locked the door and called you.
What's his name?
Registered as Tom Rustad in Phoenix.
How long has he been here?
About 10 days. I'd have to check the card to be sure.
Is he alone?
Here, I got the key.
Go ahead.
Thanks.
You touched the body at all?
No, I should say not. I've worked around motels for a long time, yet and so nothing bothers me. Tell you, though, this almost did, like this scared me half to death.
Yes, ma'am. Better call a lab, ask them to come out.
Yeah. Be all right if I use the phone in the office?
Well, sure. You go right ahead. It's on the desk, back of the counter.
All right.
Thing like this, it isn't going to do the place any good. I hope it can be played down in the papers.
Yes, sir.
This is the first kind of trouble we've had. Suicide. Sure isn't going to help. I wish there was some way to change it.
Well, there is, but that wouldn't help much either.
What do you mean? He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, but he had help. 6:03 p.m., the crew from the crime lab arrived and started their investigation. Apparently, the victim had been killed with a small caliber gun. However, a search of the room failed to turn it up. The coroner's office was notified. They came out to check the body and go through his effects. 6:18 p.m., Frank and I talked with the motel owner in his cabin.
Now, here's the registration card. You can see there where he signed it.
Were you driving a car, do you know?
Oh, I never saw one.
Well, how'd he get here?
You mean when he checked in?
Yeah.
By cab.
Did he tell you why he was in town?
No, he never mentioned it.
Did he work?
I don't know.
When he checked in, did he say how long he'd be staying?
No, he said it might be a week, 10 days.
How about visitors? Do you have any?
I didn't see him.
What about phone calls?
Yeah, I made some.
you have a record of him?
No. Usually we do. All the calls go through the board, but he used the phone booth outside.
Okay.
A couple times I was out by the pool at night, you know.
Yes.
I'd be out there and I'd see him in the booth. A couple of times he talked for quite a while.
But you haven't got any idea who he was calling?
No. Dime called, though.
What's that?
Cost him a dime. I heard the bell ring when he dropped the money.
Well, they all do.
You get any mail? No.
He paid for his room in advance?
Yeah, the first time he gave me the money for a week. And just a few days ago he paid for another week.
How'd he pay it?
What do you mean?
Well, by check or cash?
Oh, cash.
What size bills do you remember?
I never saw him use anything smaller than 50.
Mm-hmm.
Sure seemed to have a lot of them. Guess maybe a couple $1,000.
Did he always carry that kind of money with him?
Well, I wouldn't know about that. I guess he must have kept something smaller, though. Isn't everybody can change a 50?
Not everybody.
You gonna let his people know?
What's that?
Well, he must have some people over in Phoenix. They should know about him being dead.
Yeah.
Sure don't feel it's my place to tell him.
No, sir, we'll take care of it.
Okay. It's gonna be a shock to him. A guy his age. Probably got a wife and family. Not gonna do him any good.
No, it works both ways, doesn't it? Didn't do much for him. In going over the place, the crime lab found the room had been ransacked. Although none of the possessions of the victim had been taken, there was no money in the room and no personal identification could be found. The place was gone over for fingerprints. Several clean sets were lifted, but they belonged to the dead man. No other usable physical evidence was recovered. The coroner's office checked through the victim's luggage. In one of the suitcases, they found an unstamped letter addressed to a June Russell in Reno, Nevada. Its contents explained that the victim expected to be in that city at the end of the month. There was no way of establishing a relationship between the two people. The coroner sealed the motel room, and Frank and I returned to the office. We sent a radiogram to the authorities in Phoenix asking for all information on Tom Rustad. The following morning, Wednesday, June 20th, we got their answer.
There it is, Joe.
Phoenix?
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, boy. It's going to make it rougher.
Yeah.
I never heard of him. In the hope of getting an identification of the victim, his fingerprint classification and description was sent to George Brereton up at CII Sacramento, FBI headquarters in Washington, and to the police departments in the 7 western states. A close check of his clothing revealed that Tom Rustad's suits were tailor-made and had been made in Reno. We contacted the authorities there and asked them to check on the tailor shops in the area. We also asked if they check out the woman Rustad had written to. While we waited for the answer, we contacted the cab company that had serviced the area around the motel. We asked them to go over their way bills and report all trips from the motel and all trips to the address. 2 hours later, we got the list and started to check out the drivers.
Sure, I remember the guy. A couple more like him, I could buy my own cab company.
What do you mean?
Well, he's a big tipper. Never had anything less than a half a sawbuck.
Mm-hmm.
Down at the stand, you got to be a real battler. Who's going to pick him up? You know, the loop?
Yeah. Where do you usually take him?
Well, different places, restaurants, shows, different places.
Did he ever tell you what he was doing in town?
Well, we'd talk. You know, a long drive downtown gets kind of dull. A couple of times he rode in the front seat with me. Guess maybe the company wouldn't like it, but that's the way he wanted it.
Mm-hmm. What'd you talk about?
Weather, fishing, lots of things.
Yeah?
Mostly about girls, though. He thought he was quite a ladies' man. The way he dressed, all that money he should have been.
You ever see any of his friends?
Listen, how come you're asking all these questions?
It's police matter.
I knew that when I got the word from the front office. They told me to ride with you all the way. Well, what's the beef? You have to Rustad for something?
Investigation.
Oh.
Now what about his friends?
Well, I sure wouldn't want him to find out, blow the whole deal. Probably wouldn't call me anymore.
What's that?
Marcia.
Who?
I don't know her last name. Some bimbo Rustad knew.
You ever meet her?
Not Swamp.
What's that mean?
Why, she was in the cab. You know, I'd pick them up here, drive over to her place, and take the two of them down to a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So, real beautiful. Was tall, blonde, gorgeous.
Rustad was pretty friendly with her, was he?
Yeah, I guess so. The way he talked, he liked her a lot.
You got her address?
Yeah, I suppose.
Huh?
Well, you guys rouse this going to lead right back to me. Cause a lot of trouble. Tell you, he's a funny guy. Talk about a lot of things. But you don't like to have you ask questions, especially about him.
Yeah.
Got real touchy when I talk about where he was from, what he did for a living.
Yeah.
That's why it's important you don't get in trouble with him. I can use those tips.
Well, don't count on them anymore.
Huh?
They won't be coming. We got the address of the woman the driver knew as Marcia. We called the office to check on the wires we'd sent. There'd been no answer to any of them. 1:30 p.m., we drove over to see the woman.
place was a new apartment building on Wilshire Boulevard. On the mailbox, we found the name Marcia Lovequist and the information that she occupied apartment 14. We went up and rang the bell.
Well, it doesn't look like she's home.
Yeah. Let's check with the manager.
All right. Sure pretty cool, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
You know, you ought to get a place out here. It'd be great for you.
It would, huh?
Sure. Nice apartment, pool, get some sun.
Yeah, I got a lot of time for that.
Well, once in a while. It wouldn't cost so much.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice. Me and Faith come over and see you and bring the kids.
You bet.
Well, you wouldn't want to be a hog about the pool, would you?
Not me, Frank.
You feel that way, just forget the whole thing.
That's what I was planning.
You just forget it.
Here's the manager.
Can I help you?
Wonder if you could tell us where you can find Miss Lovequist.
Marcia?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, saw a few minutes ago. Oh, yes, there she is over by the pool. See, with the straw hat.
Oh, yeah. Thanks very much.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Miss Lovequist?
Yes?
The police officer'd like to ask you a few questions.
Policeman? I don't know what I could tell you, but go ahead.
Sorry if we sit down?
Sure. Pull up a couple of stools.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go.
Thank you. This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How do you do?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what do you want to see me about?
You know a man named Roostead?
Yeah, why?
I'm looking to tell us about him.
You in trouble?
No, we're just checking.
Oh. Well, what do you want to know?
You know where he's from?
You mean his hometown?
That's right.
Someplace up north. I don't think he ever said.
How'd you happen to meet him?
Cocktail party, hotel downtown. There was a convention. My agent got me a job as a hostess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a model. Do some work in TV. And get a little luck to take what you can get.
Yeah.
And Tom was there, and we got to talking. Went out to dinner. Quite a bit after that.
Did he tell you what he did for a living?
No, I don't think so. Salesman, I think. Talked like one.
What about this convention? You know what it was for?
Oh, dentist. But he didn't have anything to do with that. He was just there.
Oh?
Told me he was sitting at the bar, and one of the guys asked him to come up and have a couple of drinks. That's all. He wasn't a dentist, though.
I see. Do you have any friends here in town, would you know?
Yeah, I don't. Listen, why don't you ask him? He'd go along with you. Nice guy. He'd be able to answer these questions a lot better than me.
Well, we're checking everybody who knew him.
Oh, I see. Well, nice guy. Had a lot of fun.
When did you see him last, miss?
Stayed for yesterday. We had dinner, took a drive. He came by for a nightcap, and then he called a cab and went home.
Did you hear from him yesterday?
No. Didn't really expect to.
Why?
Well, you see, we had kind of a fight. Nothing serious. I didn't figure I'd hear from him till maybe today, you know. We both got over the mad.
Can you tell us what the argument was about?
Well, the same to you, I'd rather not.
It's pretty important that we know.
Well, I guess you can't do any harm. He was just getting too serious, that's all.
Miss?
Too serious. Told him I had to go out of town on a modeling job. Santa Barbara would be gone a couple of days. He got real mad. Said he didn't want me running around like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Real possessive. I told him he didn't have any right to tell me what to do, that we weren't married, you know?
Yeah.
Well, from there it got loud. Him telling me I wasn't going to Santa Barbara and me saying he couldn't stop me. He finally called the cab and went home.
What time was that?
I guess about 3:30. Might have been 4, no later.
All right, thank you very much. If you should think of anything else, we'd appreciate a call.
Sure.
I'll leave you one of our cards.
Mm-hmm. Ask for either one of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'll tell you who you ought to talk to.
Who's that?
Well, you ought to see him anyway. I haven't heard anything, but Tom might have gone over there.
Who?
This photographer I was going to Santa Barbara with. Tom might have gone over to see him.
Can you give us his address?
Yeah, I've got it upstairs.
Did Roostead know this photographer?
Well, they'd never met. He knew about him, though.
Yeah.
That's why he might be able to tell you something.
No?
Well, Tom thought there was something between us, this other fella and me. Of course, I told him it was silly. It didn't make any difference, though. Real jealous, possessive. Said him and the other fellow were going to tangle someday. I hope not.
Why?
I know the other guy.
Yeah.
He'd kill Tom.
We got the name and address of the photographer, and then we drove back to the city hall. We made a check through R&I, but we found no record on him. 3:06 p.m.
Well, looks like we might have a lead.
Yeah, I hope it turns out, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Homicide, Friday. Yeah. Yeah, Jack. No, we've been waiting for it. Can you give it to me over the phone? We'll pick up a copy later. Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm. What? How do you spell that? Rossfelle. Yeah. All right. As soon as it comes in. Yeah, we'd appreciate a call on it. Right. Okay. Jack Ricketts down in communications.
Yeah?
Got a teletype from Reno.
About Rooster?
Yeah, they got a record on him. Real name Thomas Roselle.
That's the name on the letter.
Yeah, they ran it down.
Well, they got him.
Been arrested for bunco, grand theft, money, forgery. Haven't been able to make any of them stick.
Mm-hmm.
From what they say, a couple of months ago he went into a new line. They figure that's what he's pitching now.
What's that?
Narcotics.
What about this Roselle woman? She your sister?
No, his wife.
Huh?
Married, got 3 kids.
Her up there and this Marshall woman here, and he's swinging real wide.
Yeah.
They come up with anything more?
Possible motive, maybe.
Yeah.
When Roselle left town, they got a rumble he was coming down here on business.
Uh-huh.
Had 12 ounces of heroin to peddle. We put in a call to Narcotics Division and talked to Captain Walter. He told us they didn't have anything on Roselle, but they'd heard about a new supply of high-grade heroin being moved into town. We told him what we'd found, and then we drove out to talk to the photographer the victim's girlfriend had mentioned.
Well, I'm sorry, fellas. I haven't got any idea what you're talking about.
Have you seen Tom Rustad or Roselle?
Sure, I didn't say I hadn't. But I didn't have anything to do with killing him.
How'd you know he was dead?
It's all over the afternoon papers. Don't you boys read your own publicity?
When did you see him?
Rustad?
Sure.
Night before last.
Monday?
Yeah, I guess so. Really, Tuesday morning.
What time?
Well, about 4:15. Yeah, that's it. 4:15, I remember, because he woke me up. I looked at the clock.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want?
Oh, he had some wild idea there was something going between me and Marcia.
Was there?
Well, I don't see if there's any of your business, but it doesn't matter to me, so I'll tell you. No, there wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
He's a model. I'm a photographer. She worked for me. I paid her $25 an hour. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell you it wouldn't have been nice, but it just didn't happen. I don't believe in romance around the office. Doesn't do anything but cause trouble.
Yeah.
What happened when Rustad came in?
Oh, made a lot of accusations. I told him they weren't true. Said he had a filthy mind. Told him to get out.
Did he go?
No, I tried a little muscle. I belted him a couple of times, and that ended it.
Mm-hmm.
Poured him a drink to show him there weren't any hard feelings. A couple more.
Yeah.
Kicked it around a while, and then he left.
What'd you talk about?
Look, am I a suspect? Is that way on my back?
We're talking to everybody who knew him.
Well, you can cross my name off the list. I belted him, that's all. I didn't shoot him.
All right. Did he call a cab from here when he left?
No, I was going to, and he decided to walk.
Did you see him leave?
Certainly. I locked the door after. Watched him walk outside from the window there. Must have changed his mind about the cab, though.
What?
Cab. Must have changed his mind.
I thought you said he didn't take one.
I said he didn't call one. The cruiser picked him up. They drove off.
You didn't get the number of the cab, did you?
Look, a guy woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Came in here, wanted to start a beef. I finally got rid of him. I'm a 9 to 6 boy. I haven't got time to stand around windows and get cab numbers for you cops. I went back to sleep.
All right, and after anything comes up, give us a call, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Take this card, will you?
Oh, look, I'm sorry if I sounded off. Just that I don't want to get mixed up in it. You can understand that, can't you?
Sure.
No hard feelings, huh?
No.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't like Rustad. I didn't like him an inch, but I didn't hate him. Not enough to kill him.
Somebody did. We contacted the cab company again and asked them to check the way bills from Nestler's address. They came up with one trip on Tuesday morning. The dispatcher gave us the driver's name and told us where we could find him.
Yeah, I remember the guy. Looked like he had a beef with somebody, real cut up.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you take him?
I think, was a hotel downtown.
Remember the name?
I dropped him off at the corner of Margot. He went into a hotel there. See now. The Rolling Arms, I think it was. Yeah, that's the place.
All right, thanks a lot.
I'm glad to help out. Say, this fella, he the same one who was killed yesterday?
That's right.
Well, I sure seen a lot of him. Newspapers, television, a lot of him. Always works that way, don't it?
What do you mean?
After you're dead, you're famous.
Mm-hmm.
When it's too late to enjoy it.
Frank and I drove down to the Roland Arms Hotel. We talked with a clerk who had been on duty Tuesday morning. He remembered a man answering the victim's description and told us he'd inquired about a guest named Wallace Alney. Because of Rustad's insistence, the clerk had put through a call to Alney, and the guest said to let the victim come upstairs. He went on to say that about 30 minutes later, both men had left the hotel together. 9:40 p.m., we went up to Wallace Alney's room.
Here it is, John.
Yeah, it's fast. Yeah?
Wallace Alney?
Right?
Police officer. I'd like to talk to you.
Sure, come on.
This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Hi.
That's all right.
Like a drink? I'm just going to fix myself one.
No, thanks.
Always like a drink before dinner. Sharpens up the old appetite.
Yeah. Mind if we look around?
No, go ahead. You looking for anything special? I might be able to help?
No, it's all right.
Architect's closet. Well, maybe you better tell me what this is all about, huh?
You know a man named Tom Rustad or Roselle?
Why?
Do you know him?
Yeah, I met him.
I'm explaining, Joe. I don't know about the closet.
Well, what about Rustad?
When did you see him last?
I don't know, a few days ago.
Want to pin it down for us?
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
That's the last time you saw him.
Yeah, we had a couple of drinks in the bar at the corner. I haven't seen him since.
We got two people who say you did.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then go talk to them. Leave me alone.
You ever been arrested?
Why?
Have you?
Yeah.
What beef?
I don't think I'm going to answer that.
You don't have to. We'll find out.
Narco?
Where you from?
All around.
Name of city.
Frisco, Vegas, KC, all around.
How about Reno?
Yeah, that's true.
Is that where you met Rustad?
Look, what do you guys after?
You got the answer to that. Why not save some time?
I got a lot of time.
So have we.
Well, let's be honest with each other, huh?
Go ahead.
Why don't you guys lay out what you got, and I'll tell you how close you are.
That'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it?
Why?
Like playing checkers with yourself.
Nothing I can do then.
How about the closet?
Look, you make a pinch, I got no choice. If you're wrong, I'll own City Hall.
I don't think we are.
And be my guest.
All right, you're under arrest.
Charge?
Suspicion of murder. I'll take the closet.
Save in trouble. I killed him.
The search of the closet turned up a driver's license and other identification for Thomas Roselle. We also found a .25 caliber gun, $2,700 in cash, and a quantity of heroin. The suspect was taken to City Hall for questioning. We ran his name through R&I and found that he had several arrests in the state of California for violation of the State Narcotics Act. 12:16 a.m. We got the full story.
We were in business up north.
Reno?
Yeah, we made a lucky buy. He came down here to sell it. I gave him some connections where he could dump it.
Go ahead.
He's down here a couple of days. He sent a wire telling me the merchandise wasn't moving. I knew it was a lie. Right away I knew it. Good stuff like that, it had to be a market. And I got the word.
What do you mean?
Well, a friend of mine, he called, told me about Tom and this Marcia doll, how they were running around.
Yeah.
This guy told me Tom was going great with the H, said he dropped about $7,000 of it already. Sure, as soon as I heard that, I got on my horse, made it down here.
What happened?
Couldn't find out where he was staying, didn't have a trace.
What about the motel?
Well, I didn't know about that. As far as I knew, he was supposed to be here. That's the way we arranged it.
Yeah.
I sent out word I wanted to see him for him to get in touch right away. He did. Tried to give me the same line about how he couldn't sell. There wasn't a market for it. I told him we'd better call the whole deal off. Just give me the stuff back, we call the whole deal off.
Yeah.
Took some talk, and then we headed for his place.
That's the motel?
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
My car.
What happened then?
Oh, when I saw how much he had left, I told him he was lying. I called him a dirty thief, and we had a fight. I shot him.
All right, you willing to give us a statement?
Sure, why not?
I'll get some medicine.
His wife know you?
I guess so.
That's too bad. I know her. She's a real nice kid. She's really in love with that Tom. Guess she took it pretty hard.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, knowing her, she would. Nice kid like that, and he's running around with another broad. Boy, he was a real bum. The way she loved him and doing a thing like that to her.
Why don't you take another look?
What?
What'd you do to her?
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. On November 19th, trial was held in Department 99, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Wallace Hamilton Olney was tried and convicted of murder in the second degree and received sentence as prescribed by law. Murder in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Frazier.
Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Dick Perrin, Helen Cleve, Lillian Bayov, Stacey Harris. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Broadcasting Company brings to its entire network one of radio's most unusual programs, Pat Novak, for hire.
Sure, I'm Pat Novak, for hire. That's what the sign out in front of my office says. Pat Novak, for hire. If you're trying to make a living down on the waterfront in San Francisco, you gotta run things like a smorgasbord. You take a little of everything you can get your hands on. Even then, it's a bumpy ride, because down here, everybody tries to pad his part. Oh, I rent boats and do anything else good men pay bad men to do. You don't get many gold stars that way, but you pay the bar bill, and it's about as safe as a closet full of tigers. The only way you can make friends down on the waterfront is to die. I found that out Tuesday night. I went to the wrestling matches and watched Gorgeous George throw some guy around like a poker chip in Tijuana. I was in the middle of the crowd on my way out of the place when this guy stepped up behind me and started talking.
You got company, Novak.
Huh?
I said you got company. On both sides.
No. Did your friend get his face at a fire sale, too?
Can't all be pretty. Keep walking, Novak.
Is a gun in my back supposed to help?
That's up to you. Straight ahead and out the side door.
You got the right growl, but the wrong guy, mister.
You keep working your mouth, but nothing comes out. All right, this way.
What are your plans? Shall we take the kids?
The car right down here.
Now, look, big shot. In a drugstore, I get all the mystery I want for 2 bits.
You want things explained?
Yeah, besides Shovelhead here, I don't understand a thing.
We just want Joe Denine.
I never heard of him either.
We just want Joe Denine.
All right, you can have him. You're welcome. See his wife. See anybody you like. I don't even know the guy.
You're full of talk. As soon as you want to make it the right kind, you can go home. Here we are, into the back seat. You drive, Eddie.
You boys run on. I'll grab a cab.
Get in! You're not going to take a boat. That's it. Just be a good mouse.
You got a lot of time to waste it this way, mister.
You're too gaddy, Novak.
And you're too tough, Junior.
And this noise is beginning to give me a headache. Oh! Let's go, Eddie. Novak's going to sulk a while.
He could have taken 3 bases on that wallet. I spread out on the back seat like a bowl of cake batter and tried to think of a guy named Joe Denine. There was nobody on my list for that name. But the way these 2 Gunsels acted, he was supposed to be a blood relative. I could hear him talking dimly, and I tried to follow the conversation, but it was like trying to put a smoke ring in your pocket. I don't know how long the tour lasted. It must have been about 30 or 40 minutes when the car pulled up and the big gun started to yank me.
Wake up! Wake up, sweet boy! Come on, it's time for your 10 o'clock feeding.
Yeah. Wait till I borrow some legs, huh?
Come on, you never looked better. All right. Down the dock here.
Are we playing a new game or hunting a guy named Denine?
That's right.
Good. Now I know the rules.
Well, is that your boat, Novak?
It's got my name on it.
Is that your boat, Novak?
Well, what's it look like? The Normandy? Of course it's my boat. Who threw the blood all over it? One of your friends?
Maybe Denine.
Now, look, you better back up and start a recap. I never heard of Denine, and from the size of his friends, I'm just about as happy.
You mean he didn't rent a boat off you?
If he used that boat, he stole it, mister. I closed up tonight at 7.
You make it sound good.
It is good. I've been off the waterfront 4 hours. In the meantime, somebody takes my boat and gets it chock full of holes and sends you around a week. Who is Denine?
A friend.
I don't blame either of you for hanging on to one.
We were supposed to meet him at your landing at 10. He was going to rent one of your boats, and we were going to meet him at 10.
There's the boat. You want to pay the damages?
We came early and found the boat piled up, blood all over and no Denine. You got any ideas?
Maybe he cut himself shaving. Dragged the bay, mister. I don't know your guy, but somebody did. They met him out there in the bay and cut him down.
You sound happy.
Now, look, I don't care one way or another except to use my boat. If he wanted to die, he should have hired a Davenport. That's all I know. I never heard of Joe Denine.
Yeah.
You and your friend here better go sap somebody else.
Sure, Novak. We'll look around, but hang on to your cards because you still got a hand in this game.
Thanks, Mother. I'll remember that.
Watch out, Eddie! Watch out! You all right, Eddie? Nice curve, Novak.
You're wrong, mister. My friends ride the cable car.
You made a bum pitch, Novak. Nice one.
All right, let go. You can't afford to fight now.
I want you for Eddie, Novak.
Sorry, fellow. The water's going to be cold.
Hey, what's the trouble? Trouble going on?
No. Whatever gave you that idea?
I'm a night watchman over here. That fellow lying on the dock there dead?
Well, if he's not, he's going to catch cold.
What about the other fellow? Maybe he can't swim.
What do you care? He doesn't.
Oh. They come here looking for something?
Yeah.
Guess they didn't find it, huh?
Somebody's satisfied. They were trying to find the guy that came out of that boat down there.
Oh, you mean the funny-looking guy?
Huh?
A guy got out of that boat a few hours ago, all banged up. I think he was in a fight.
Yeah?
Sure, somebody shot him. I think he was in a fight.
Where'd he go?
Down the dock toward the street. He asked about a fella and went down the dock.
Oh.
He asked about a fella named Novak. Do you know him?
Yeah, but I'll do my best to forget. It wasn't going to be easy to forget. I knew there was a guy wandering around San Francisco waiting to jog my memory. And before long, somebody was going to find out those two dead guys weren't doing light housekeeping down on the dock. Once homicide smelled that red meat, they'd turn Inspector Hellman loose. That's like pouring a bottle of cyanide in a wedding cake. Oh, he's a smart cop with a heart the size of a full-grown pea. I got off the dock in a hurry and I went home. When I left, the watchman was still standing there waiting to check in the next murder and smiling like a vulture with the first option on a massacre. Well, I had to get home and look sweet in case Hellman showed up. When I opened the door to my place, Hellman was on the couch with a pencil in one hand and a movie magazine in the other.
Hello, Novak. You busy?
No, I'll just stand here and watch you. A little more of that pencil and movie magazine routine, and you'll break out in a cold sweat.
Where have you been?
Staying out of other people's apartments?
I got an answer for that.
You haven't got an answer for anything, Hellman. You can't fill in the return address envelope. What's on your mind?
Can I make a call?
No, not to play cat and mouse. If you want to know about that bloodbath down on the dock, say so.
Yeah?
They're close strangers. I never saw either of them before.
You're getting loose around the mouth, Novak.
Huh?
That's right. If some of your playmates stub their toes, it's news to me. You better tell me, though. It'll save time.
Well, what's the use? If a fact walked up and sat in your lap, you'd lose it.
Suit yourself. Have a drink?
Yeah, I will. Where's the bottle opener?
Huh?
The bottle opener. You got teeth for it. I need a bottle opener, Hellman.
I don't know. Try the kitchen.
All right. Yeah.
Try the light.
Well.
About this guy on the floor, Novak. Don't tell him to move because I don't think he can.
When I looked down at the guy on the floor, I felt like a burlap sack from the neck down. He was a big guy lying on his back, and you got the idea he took it hard. He didn't like the way the boat came in. Because he wasn't relaxed the way most people are when they're on the prowl for a harp. He was about as rigid as a coil of wet line on a steamer deck. His face was pockmarked and the color of an old piece of abalone. Hellman was standing over him, and the shadow cut across the lower part of his face. It almost blocked out the gun, a big .38 lying about 4 feet away. The rest of the kitchen was a mess. It was torn up worse than a Japanese lantern in a high wind. Hellman was leaning against the cabinet and smiling, like the banker in a crooked blackjack game.
Does he belong to you, Novak?
No, he's not pretty enough. Roll him over. We'll find out who he is.
I've already been through his stuff.
Wipe your hands. The green still shows.
His name is Joe Denine.
You sure were popular, Joe.
Why?
The scavenger hunt. Every garnup in town's been looking for him.
I figured you for the prize.
2 of them picked me up and lugged me down to the waterfront.
Yeah?
I told you about them. They ran into bad weather.
Why'd they take you?
Because I looked like a bird dog, maybe. I don't know why, Hellman. They just took me. In the meantime, Sunshine here took my boat out and got shot up.
And he came up here to borrow your adhesive tape.
That's all I know, Hellman. He must have figured me for a part.
I got the same trouble, Novak. That gun on the floor helps, too.
That gun, second lead at best. I never saw it before.
It's the murder gun. How'd it get here?
I don't know.
Maybe the scullery maid left it. Come on, Novak. You're in the spot. You better start digging.
If I do any digging, the dirt's going to go in your face, Hellman.
You've got a nice face, too, Novak.
You better buy a big shield, Hellman. You've got a lot to hide behind.
Stop beefing. You're the host. What about the safety deposit box?
You're ahead of me on that one. You ought to have your picture taken.
He was talking about a safety deposit box when I got here.
It was alive when you got here?
That's right. Show more joy. The neighbors heard the shooting and phoned in.
Well, who did it? What did he say?
He said, tough luck, copper. That's all he said. Something about a safety deposit box and tough luck, copper.
Oh, that's real fine. You let him die clammed up. You're smart, Hellman. You let him off with a third-rate tagline.
You're lucky, Novak. This way it's going to take me 12 hours to wrap you up. I'm going to run that gun through and check a couple of things, then I'll be on your tail.
I want to see you follow something up, Hellman. With that big nose of yours, you couldn't find a moose in the bathtub.
Look, Novak, you're a small-time waterfront punk. You've been lucky so far, but you're still a punk. I don't like you, and I'm going to hang you by your heels. I'm going to get you. If it's the last thing I ever do, I'm going to get you.
Hellman, if I thought you were on the level about that, I'd give myself up. When Hellman left, things were about as dim as a glowworm at high noon. All the leads were tucked away in the morgue. Those 2 stiffs on the dock checked out with nothing but a grunt, and the guy up in my place left a .38 and some mild regrets. I had the funny feeling there was a lead up there in that apartment, but I couldn't get a hold of it. Something waiting to be understood, the way a thing gets balanced on the edge of your brain, half in, half out, like the melody but not the words of an old song. Well, I didn't know where to turn. I was hunting for the shoreline on a dark night. So I looked up the only honest guy I know, an ex-doctor and a boozer by the name of Jocko Madigan. Oh, he's all right, but he's got the idea that all liquid that isn't 100 proof lacks character. I finally found him in a little bar down near Union Square. He was talking to a blonde girl and a sailor when I walked in.
Ah, Patsy, you find me in the late October of my life, trying to recapture a few April moments.
Yeah, Jocko, I got to talk to you.
That's what I like about good whiskey. It makes you too sentimental to be mad at yourself for growing old.
Now, look, I'm in a jam. Lay off that stuff long enough to listen.
Patsy, you underrate the grape. It's a terrible mistake. It's thrown off the whole perspective of history.
All right, Jocko.
Like that story about young Washington and the cherry tree. They blame him for that, but actually it was his first hint of future greatness.
Yeah.
They talk about vandalism, whereas the truth of the matter is he was just preparing a few Manhattans for the family. The whole perspective of history has been altered, Patsy.
Oh, stop it, will you? I'm in trouble. Will you help me out?
Yes, if you'll allow me to get a word in edgewise. What kind of trouble?
There's a dead guy up at my place.
Oh, I don't know why you're in trouble. Think of his bleak outlook on things.
Hellman's nosing around and he thinks I did it.
Did you?
No. He got shot in relays, but he picked my place to quit. And there are 2 other dead guys down on the dock.
What were their practices?
They strong-armed me about 10 o'clock and took me down to the waterfront. We were supposed to find a guy named Joe Denine, but they looked too ripe to somebody.
How about Denine?
He's that guy up at my place. When Hellman got there, he was muttering about a safety deposit box and staring at a big .38. Oh, come on, you gotta help me, Jocko.
Yes, where would you like me to spread the ashes?
I want you to get out and find out everything you can about Joe Denine, will you?
He's your house guest. Why don't you go?
Hit the Chronicle and the Examiner morgues and try to find out if he has a safety deposit box in any of the banks, huh?
Where are you going? Before prison, I mean.
I'm going down and lie in Hellman's shadow until something turns up. I need every minute, Jocko, so hurry.
Well, I'll need a quick one for the road first.
You'll get going right now, Jocko.
Patsy, you have a defiant attitude for a man on the doorstep to the next world. Try to be sweeter until you discover your normal disposition will do. You can start by paying my bar bill.
All right. Will you hurry? How much do you owe?
About $11.
What have you been doing all night? Are you crazy?
I may owe $11, Patsy, but so far I've had a better night than you have. Good night, lover.
I had to get started on some answers because once Hellman checked on those 2 guys at the dock, he'd go to work on me. He'd keep hacking away and finally cut me down like a piece of flint in a cigarette lighter. Well, after I left Jocko, I started down to headquarters. It was a little after midnight, and the streets were wet and silent, except that now and then you could hear a woman's laughter coming out of the dark as you passed along. That's the only sound the night keeps whole. Well, I was cutting down Leavenworth Street when it came to me. I knew what my lead was up in that apartment. It didn't hit me suddenly. It kept shoving in like a piece of old seaweed on the water, moving in and out and finally brushing up against you. If that guy was alive when Hellman got there, that meant that maybe he could have phoned somebody. And if he did, then they'd have a record of it down at the desk. Well, I got back to my place and asked the operator. Oh, it feels good when you got the right sweepstakes ticket. She said a call had been put in from my place at 10:15 to the Ambrose Hotel, room 204. Well, at last things were beginning to make sense. They must have made sense for about 5 seconds because Hellman called. The girl handed me the phone and he started in.
I got news for you, Novak. We checked the prints on that murder gun. They don't add.
Take your troubles to the chaplain, Hellman. I got my quota.
Yeah. You got fancy friends, too, Novak. The prints belong to Jake Fidello.
Yeah, how do you spell that?
F-I-D... You're cute, aren't you, Novak?
To Jake Fidello, I'm nothing. Who is he?
Cheap punk like you, Novak. He's working on a 20-year stretch in Alcatraz.
Huh?
Yeah, Alcatraz. So there's no tie between the murder gun and the murder.
Maybe Fidello bought himself a 2-day furlough.
We already checked. The guard saw him in his cell at 11 o'clock tonight reading a book.
Guards pay the rent, too, Hellman. My boat was out in that bay tonight, and it came back full of bullets and blood. Now you're trying to tell me there's no connection. You better find out if a guy can skip Alcatraz for a few hours.
I'll wait, Novak. Maybe you can tell me how it's done before long.
Well, nothing matched now. It was like the chorus girl's legs in a cheap nightclub. If Jake Fidello was smart enough to beat Alcatraz for a couple of hours, then he wasn't dumb enough to leave that murder gun behind. And what was the connection between Denine and Jake Fidello? And who lived at the Ambrose Hotel? Well, I went up there to find out. It was a small place up near the top of Telegraph Hill, and when I rode by, I could see Alcatraz sitting out on the bay, a lonely island full of birthdays. The Ambrose turned out to be a high-toned little joint, the sort of place where the welcome mats printed in Old English. I went up to 204. The card in the door said Frederica Sims. I knocked, and when the door opened, it was like shaking hands with a flamethrower. She was a tall number, and she screamed Final Edition all over. She stood in the doorway for a minute and swayed in a nice, contented way like a snake on the right diet. And when she said hello, you wanted to hand her your arm and say, twist.
Good evening.
Yeah. My name's Novak.
I'll remember. Won't you come in?
It'll save an argument.
Good. I hope you don't mind crowds, Mr. Novak.
She means me, Mr. Novak. I'm Mike Trevor.
And I'm Freddie Sims.
Well, that brings us up to date.
A drink would do so much more. You need a drink, Mr. Novak. You look a little dusty.
Don't mind her, Novak. She addresses all people as peasants.
All right, now suppose you two landowners tell me who killed Joe Denine.
You know, Mike, I don't think he wants the drink.
We'll all celebrate when you get around to Denine.
I don't think we know a man by the name of Denine, particularly if he's dead.
Yes, I'm sure we wouldn't like him.
Come on, let's drop the smart talk. Come on back in the saloon. A guy by the name of Joe Denine died all over my kitchen tonight.
Don't get tough, Novak. If you missed your dinner, all right, but don't come up here screaming about your dead friend.
Now, look, I'm about 10 feet behind a phone call. Denine put in a call for this number just before he died.
Then it was whimsy, Novak, or anything else you'd like to call it. We don't know the man. You can mull it over on your way downstairs.
Yeah, and you can use the time to think over that safety deposit box.
What safety deposit
box?
box?
You're jumping your cue, lady. Make it more casual, huh?
Do you know what you're talking about, Novak?
You think so?
I'll tell you what I'll do, Novak. I'll buy that key from you.
You got a deal, unless you want to pay it off with money.
You mean Joe Denine?
That's right. I'm running front on a murder rap. You want that key. If you want it bad enough, come on down to headquarters and we'll make a trade.
No, thanks, Novak. You didn't look bright, but I thought you might be hiding your brains somewhere. This way you lose money.
You lose even more, Trevor. I was going to ease you into that murder rap, but the offer's out. You'll have to struggle in, and you'll be too tired to get out.
Can I loan either of you boys a pickaxe?
No, thanks. Well, I'm going to run along. Can I drop you anyplace, Novak?
I'll stay.
You know, I didn't think I could drop you anyplace. Novak, you ought to sell that gleam in your eye. Some airport could use it. Good night, Freddie. Be careful.
Good night, Mike. I can take care of myself.
Yes, if you try. That's all I was worried about.
Your friend reads the wrong books.
I'll bet you never wasted your time that way. Why don't you sit down on the couch here and have a drink, Patsy? Now that the argument's over,
Is it?
well, at least we need a drink.
Yeah, sure. That'll make the talk come easy. About that key.
You think I want the key?
Like nothing else in the world.
No. That's a little rash, Patsy. But I do want it. I want it very badly.
Those are famous last words, lady. You heard the round with Mike. The prices haven't changed.
Mm-hmm. That's too expensive, darling. Here's your drink. What are you looking at, Patsy?
You? The way you slide around on that couch?
Yes.
Yeah. You belong in the Everglades.
If I were there, Patsy, I think you're the kind of a guy who'd be right around the next bend.
You sound pretty sure. That's a good way to lose your shirt.
I am sure, Patsy. I know that about us. We belong in the swamp.
Yeah.
We belong together. Because we're the same kind. We're neither good nor bad. We just are. And that has to do.
You make it sound corny, baby.
Try to hide, darling, but I can see you peeking through your fingers. I can see you awfully good from here, Patsy.
Watch out. You're backing into a corner, Angel.
But I've got you with me.
Make some more noise, huh? I like it.
It's true. I've got you with me, haven't I, Patsy?
I can still struggle.
I'll bet you don't struggle good. I'll bet you don't struggle good at all, Patsy.
I still got that key, baby.
Yes, you see.
It stays at my place.
I could eat you, Patsy. You're wonderful.
Yeah.
You never hand me my drink. And soda at the end of the table?
Sure.
That's it, darling.
It doesn't pay much to fall in love. I spent enough time on her rug to work my way into the design. And when I finally came to, it was morning. There was nobody around the place, so I started for home. On the way, I tried to fill in the blind spots, but it was like trying to match pearls in the dark. Somebody had killed Denine for the key to that safety deposit box, but where was the key? If the girl or Mike Trevor did it, then why were they still on the trail? Well, when I got to my apartment, the place was torn apart. Looked something like a mop closet after a New Year's Eve party. Jocko was sitting in the middle of the room listening to the water fizz.
Good morning. Where'd you get the bump on the head?
Romance. What'd you find out, Jocko?
Denine had lots of friends and enemies.
Yeah, one of them's Jake Fidello.
He's number one on the list. Denine had a brawl with Fidello 2 years ago. Jake promised to square the beef.
He's in a bad spot for it now.
Maybe. Denine has no safety deposit box.
Oh, that was my out.
Perhaps you can take up folk dancing in prison. I'll send you diagrams of new steps from time to time. Fidello has a safety deposit box, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's got a lot of money floating around somewhere.
Well.
And a lot of women doing the same thing.
We're getting a better shuffle now. Is the girl's name Freddie Sims?
That's right. Fidello loves her like the last 15 minutes of life. That's why he won't like it.
Get to the point, huh?
She's supposed to be waiting for him, but she's got married in Mexico to a guy named Mike Trevor, Fidello's best friend. Does it make sense?
No, it doesn't. Suppose Jake's found out about his sweetheart and best friend. Why would he kill Denine?
I don't know, except you'll find out, Patsy, that sometimes the difference between your best friend and your worst enemy is only a matter of opportunity.
Yeah, Novak talking.
How's the dent in your forehead?
Oh, you get around, Hellman.
Yeah, we picked her up at your apartment.
She tell you about that key?
A little. She made a confession, too.
She's generous.
Not to Mike Trevor. She pinned the whole thing on him and signed a statement. We're going to have to pick him up now. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Why?
In case he wants to shoot somebody, I'm offering you.
Things were moving fast now. I sent Jocko down to start repair work on the boat, and Hellman picked me up 5 minutes later. We drove out Geary and turned on Van Ness. Oh, Hellman was real subtle. He stopped right in front of the rooming house where Mike Trevor was living. The girl had mapped it out for him. Trevor was in a first-floor room. It was a quiet neighborhood. But as we opened the front door and started in, I got the idea it was going to be a tough place to get any sleep for the next few minutes.
Down on the right side here. Stay ahead of me, Novak.
You're one copper who will die in bed, Hellman.
Down the hall and be quiet. Yeah, this is it.
On this lap, you go first.
Stand back while I throw it open.
Got empty, Hellman.
Girl said he was here. What's that?
Your boy's up at the top of the stairs.
You see him?
Oh, he's not wearing neon pants. Go up and get him.
Come on down, Trevor. Your girl talks. Come on down and sign a confession.
I've got a better idea, Copper. You come up and hand me the pen.
All right, Novak.
Move over, Hellman. He's going to argue.
He's heading for the roof. Let's go.
Hold it, Hellman. If that door up there is locked, we'll run right through the barrel.
You get one more chance, Trevor. Come on down.
That roof door is locked.
All right, Copper, I'm coming down. Make a hole.
Now you got your hole, Trevor.
Yeah. Novak, you better get to that safety deposit box. Get there in a hurry. Before the girl.
Oh, the city will lose him now, Hellman. Let's get to that safety deposit box.
Let her have the key. What do you care, Novak? She's Fidelo's girl.
No. There's a queer twist here somewhere. How do you know what's in that box?
So, Fidelo's in love with the girl. He's grateful. What do you care?
That's what makes it good. That's the way it is with love and gratitude. The love goes on, Hellman, but the gratitude changes. Well, the way things stood, there was only one place that key could be. I got to a phone and called Jocko. I told him to check out on the boat for a key somewhere on the floorboards. Jocko seemed happy when he said that some girl had come by 15 minutes ago and nosed around the boat for a while. Well, Hellman and I rushed down to the bank. When we got downstairs, Freddie was just starting into the vault.
Hello, Patsy. You look rested.
If you're on your way to that deposit box, you better think it over.
Can he stop me, Copper?
No, though we can hold the dough until we check with Fidelo.
Go ahead.
I don't think he's going to like it.
Oh, we'll have to see. I'll be back in a minute.
Let's go, Novak. We can hold the dough upstairs.
No, let's hang around. I just want to see 18-karat greed when she opens that box. There's the gratitude, Hellman.
Well, Patsy, I got the key, huh?
Well, you got everything, Eva.
How about Mike? I happened to win.
He beat you over the line by 20 minutes.
Oh. That's a nice way to let me know.
I'll try again, because you don't rate a nice way. You're not worth anything Fidelo ever had.
It's part of argument. I couldn't finish it.
I was wrong about one thing, Eva. When I said Fidelo wouldn't like this. I think he will.
Yeah. You're a good kid.
Fidelo was a thorough guy. The way he told out, but the right inning. Fidelo found out about the girl and Mike Trevor, so he pulled a switch. He hired his enemy, Joe Denine, to do the job. Denine planted the bomb in the safety deposit box, and just to prove it was a square pitch, Fidelo gave Denine was supposed to kill the girl and leave the key for Mike to blow his head off. And just to make it clean, Fidelo got in touch with him and told him to look up Denine if anything happened to the girl. That way, he figured to knock up all three of them. But Mike jumped the gun. He started tailing Denine and shot him up out on the bank. He followed him to my place and killed him with the gun Denine was carrying. Denine across, but he called the girl and told her there was a lot of money in that safety deposit box. Awfully big. But he said the girl finally double-crossed Mike Trevor and turned him in. Trevor killed those two guys on the pier. He lost Denine in the fog. And when he drove up, a couple of jumpers along got scared. The question, what could that girl have said to Jocko to make him let her walk in and breeze out with that key? I mentioned that to Jocko, but he just smiled.
It brought you Pat Novak for Hire, starring Jack Webb. Pat Novak is directed and produced by William B. Rousseau. Rocco Madigan is played by Tudor Owen. Inspector Hellman is played by Raymond Burr. Music was composed and... In our cast were Vaughn Fady, Paul Avery, Harley Bear, and Herb Ellis. This program is being released to our worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is George Fenneman inviting you to be with us again next week, when over most of these same ABC stations will bring you Pat Novak for Hire. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.